kumquat.
No, wait, didn't we agree that word now gives you psychic damage?
Yes.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
What was the word for psychic damage? And you get one free say then.
No, it was not kumquat.
Then what was the psychic damage word?
I don't remember, but it wasn't kumquat.
I think it's kumquat, therefore you're getting...
No, you said 1 free one. Hang on,
that's
you just
4.
You just said I had one. Ah.
No. It's because you said it prior, and then you said it again, and so you used up your free one.
I said it a bunch of times.
You said.
And you should really give me
4 psychic damage. Does that kill you? Oh wait, no, you're.
We have a long rest.
Well, you haven't completed it yet.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry. We
let's
got
get
30 HP, so yes, I'm dead from 4.
All right, everyone, let's get this started then. Nose goes for who's reading.
We should have all.
Sure as fuck wasn't me.
We should have all made
It might
eye
have
contact
been me.
before we did
I was a
it.
little slow on that one.
All right.
Pull up my phone.
Have Mocha read it.
Thank you, Mocha,
Thank you, Mocha.
for your words of wisdom.
Okay, let's see. Recaps. Thankfully, it's a short one. Episode 43, one more. Work in progress. Alright?
Wait, so that's not... Wait, was that 43? I think that was actually 42.
No, we're on 44, but you never updated 43.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that.
This is me making fun of you. Episode 44, The Missing Mountain. The party, without Elrik, follows Ingvald into a portal to receive their prizes for winning the tournament. Elrik experiences a vision as he is banished by Slanei out of Jotunheimen. The rest of them are brought to Ingvald's mansion, like Luigi's mansion, but bigger, where they discuss their physical wishes with an apparition of Uki the Builder in the fire. Tavi asks for a weapon, and Slanei asks for a boat made of gold to be sent to Devesta. They share a dinner where Rickard reveals he wishes for an afterlife for everyone as his wish. Ingvald asks about the story of how they killed the priestesses in Eldergard. Slanei states that they are only allowed to share that story in a bathhouse, which Ingvald gladly provides. He then asks about how they killed the king at his wedding, much to the surprise of Rickard, Tavi, and Tiril. No one said anything about that. The details are vague, much to the disappointment of Ingvald. Fuck you. After dinner in the bathhouse,
Yeah, bathhouse, yeah.
the party shares the story of how they infiltrated the Temple of the High Seas by cross-dressing. However, Stonk had to intervene when their peaceful infiltration failed. Ingvald, thinking this is hilarious, asks who the prettiest woman was. Slanei says Tavi, and Ingvald casts magic on Tavi to change his sex in front of everyone. Ingvald leaves for the night, and the party stays in the large boathouse pool a little longer before going to bed. Everyone goes to bed, with Tiril and Tavi sharing a room. Stonk sees a shadow woman by the fire again, revealing herself to be the roomkeeper of Awaz. She convinces him to set free the voice in his head, which he calls Haggle. He agrees. Elrik processes his experiences, finally able to process what is written in the Elvish diary belonging to a man named Allah Akbar.
Azabakir.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Okay, I'm not going to address that. We're going to move on.
As a baker.
Yeah, okay.
As a baker.
Thank
As a baker, I have things to say.
I think Stonk might be racist towards elves.
Yeah. Elrik, you spent all night trying to sleep off the pain and the worry, but you can't sleep any longer than a few hours before being roused by a snapping tree branch, your discomfort, or the soreness of your injuries. You've been religiously wrapping and rewrapping each and every bloody wound on your body, anxiously worrying, what if the blood never stops? Betrayal doesn't heal.
Lauren, I have 2 sorcery points left.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to convert them into a first level spell slot and cast Cure Wounds.
Go ahead and do that.
That's sad.
That's my last 2 sorcery points. Now I'm broke.
Take a rest.
Just a first level?
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Dies.
God, imagine being set in the middle of the woods while you're bleeding.
Couldn't be me.
As a hemophiliac, couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, this is a death sentence. You just killed him more slowly and painfully than if you just let Rickard do his dirty deed.
Would you have preferred Rickard to kill you?
Or would you prefer to have a chance of spiting him?
No response. We see.
Okay, I'm casting Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I need this right now.
healed for 6 health.
You have dice right next to you. Why are you using your phone?
You know, that's a valid question.
As you
I'm in double digits.
As you are wrapping and rewrapping each of the wounds on your body, you cast a healing word with what's just the last of your
Cure
essence.
wounds.
Yeah, you cure wounds on what's you got one more spell slot. You're now super fucking exhausted. Congratulations.
Take a nap.
Take a nap.
Exhaustion.
Do I need to make a shit load of saves to not die from cold?
You remember the look on Slanei's face as you were banished, and you kind of like grimace. Just, I'm not feeling so good. Why are you surprised? They're all demons. They chose to fucking save him. They chose to let you die. They all watched while Rickard and Stonk chose you to fucking die. Your mind wavers between anger and anguish. They betrayed you. Because by the end of the night, your face is tear-stained and your eyes are burning. You were so goddamn close, and that rat bastard took it away from you.
Rat.
The rat.
I'd like you to make 4 con saving throws with advantage for me.
Okay.
With advantage, because we don't want you to die.
No, because he's wearing the proper attire.
Also, we don't want you to die.
Okay, so that's a 18.
Succeeds.
That's a 23.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing that's advantage. That's a 17. 12.
You take 8 cold damage.
Good thing I cast Cure Wounds.
And gain a level of exhaustion.
Oof.
And you get one more roll, or is that it?
That was 4.
That was 4. Alright. You lay frigid on the ground, your small fort cramped and uncomfortable. Your hands stopped tingling hours ago, and the winter has painted the night with a dark shade of blue. The tall fire fights against the smothering winds, and your eyes begin to falter. The wind picks up, and you feel a sharp kick to your back.
I spin around and pull out my sword.
All right. You spin around. You're no longer in your fort.
Who am I pointing at?
You're pointing your sword at a woman you see dressed in dark brown rags with pelts lining her belt. Iron beads dance in the wind along her neck, and her long but matted red-brown hair shrouds her face. Another one? I'm assuming you've also come here on some divine mission to save us as well.
Can I perceive this lady? What who?
You don't know this person.
I look at her baffledly.
Oh, come on. You look just like them.
I'm just gonna stand there and try not to fall over.
You begin to start standing up, and she then realizes, like, how wounded you are. And the apathetic face kind of goes, oh, shit. And she kneels down, like, wait, you're not with them, are you?
Oh.
She looks around.
I can neither confirm nor deny. I don't know who the fuck she's talking about.
Come with me. I'll take you to my place. And she kind of like lifts you up best she can and begins to walk you towards her home. It's night, and you don't really have the consciousness to pay attention to what's around you, but you appear to be in a town?
I know this is useless because I am exhausted and also dying, and also even if I roll high and she's evil, I can't really do anything about it. Can I vibe check her? I'm a tad paranoid at the moment.
Disadvantage insight.
And it's already disadvantage. I have exhaustion. Wow. Like an 8.
8.
Is she gonna kill me?
You have no fucking clue.
Okay. I might as well die. Here we go.
She takes you to a small shack where a small fire smolders in the middle of a dirt floor, And she kind of sits you up against, a pile of hay and pelts and wool blankets. And she lets you sit there and says, "You can rest up for now. We'll talk to Gunnar in the morning."
Gunnar.
I nod confusedly, as that name means nothing to me.
Yep. As you now have this opportunity for a short rest.
I'd like to spend every hit die I have. Every hit die I have. Okay, I have 2d8. Can you spend every hit die at once? Is that a thing? I assume?
As far as I'm aware
I
of
think
it.
you can.
I don't
I'll check.
Yes.
Unless it's a homebrew thing, but
No,
otherwise
you
should
use
be able
all
to.
of them.
Yeah.
You get to decide how much you use. If it's
We just
like,
never
a
actually
couple
do it.
or all.
Short rest. You can spend one or more hit dice and then short rest up to the character's maximum number of hit die, which equals the character's level. Yep.
Okay, well there is 9 from my cleric. And then I have 6.
I gave up what class, breaking down what class is which in your build.
Okay. 2, 4, 10, 15, 20, 21, plus 6, 20, 27, plus 9, 36?
36, okay. Alright. While you rest, you notice the woman appearing to be it's strange for a second, because you're wondering, is she making food? Until you realize that she's throwing what appears to be jewelry and melting it in an iron pot over a fire. Do you say anything?
So she's melting down, gold and things?
She's melting down jewelry, yeah.
Damn, that's a hefty forge she's got there to melt down gold.
Gold.
I mean, yeah. He's just gonna watch for a bit, just to, get a read on, who is this person? What are they up to?
Alright, make another insight check with disadvantage.
Okay, that's a nat 1 for a total of 6.
No idea.
Okay.
For a total of 6, though.
For a total of 6. I have proficiency.
In insight?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice.
After a while of just this unreadable, unknowable lady.
Gosh, she's such a mystery.
An enigma.
I can't wait for us to go in and just yell at her.
I will ask her, who are you? And how did I get here?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say that because you don't know, something teleported you here somehow. I believe it might have some link to the other people that came here earlier. But my name is Thyra. I'm the Archdruid of this town.
What is this town?
Beruvik.
Do I even know that name?
You've probably vaguely seen maps, and you'd know Beruvik is the closest Avnordian town, but that's probably all you know about it.
Huh. I say.
Tavi.
Hang on, I'm getting rid of my notifications in my email. Yes.
You find yourself stroking the sore but healed scar over your neck and onto your chest as you lay awake with your thoughts. The muscles in your neck are tense and unforgiving, and your ribs are sore and searing. No more than 12 hours ago did you lie dead on the ground along half a dozen other corpses who were just as lucky as you. Your body was so easily broken, you felt your own blood drown you as you fell to the ground, but now you stare up at the unfamiliar ceiling in the room, warmer than you felt in months, trapped in a dull, faded bubble, and can't help but think it was all a dream. While you're all asleep, And this is for everyone. Everyone but Stonk notices this.
Honk, shoo, honk, shoo.
There's a lurch in the ground. Tabi, you are already awake, but for the others, the shuddering sound of wood begins to wake you. It's an earthquake.
In the sky?
One similar to one that separated you a week prior.
It was only a
It
week?
was only a week. I thought it was a month.
It was a couple weeks ago.
I can't wait for the house to be a dick and just let the avalanche take you.
It was a
What's
couple
a
weeks,
week?
yeah.
What even
Conflating real time with...
What is time?
You guys do anything?
Get
I'm asleep, I don't notice it.
Can I swing by and make sure everyone's okay? Make sure everyone's actually here this time.
What do you do?
Just like go to everyone's room, knock on their door. There's a response, go to the next one.
I'm running over to wake up Tiril.
Aren't you sleeping in the
That
same
you
room?
already woke, yeah.
I thought
The earthquake wakes everybody.
Okay, cool. I'm checking on you first. Get checked on.
Sleeping together, so we hope.
Snake.
Everyone but
Snake.
Stonk. Stonk
Snake.
doesn't
Snake.
notice.
You knock on Stonk's door. You don't hear anything and there's no response.
Honk. Honk.
You can try and
Should be
listen to
Stonk.
see if you
Yeah,
can hear him
yeah,
in there.
it's
Try to hear the story.
Okay, perception check.
Oh no!
Stonk, canonically, do you honk me?
Yes. Canonically, yes.
Nice. Oh, those are so cool.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
13. So I
That's
think that's a
plus a lot.
23?
You put
Yes.
your big halfling ear up against the door, and you don't hear him breathing a little bit, but you also hear him like shuffling in his bed a little bit. It's like he's having a bit of a restless sleep, but he's there.
I wonder why. Slane's just like, yeah, it's from the shuddering, he's fine.
He's dying of poison, but it's okay.
Slanei wouldn't let himself die from
Yeah.
poison.
The fire crackles as you lay in bed, and a wave of unease washes over you. You made a decision.
I did make a decision.
It's all done.
Yep. Out of my hands now, really.
You hear the voice babble in the back of your mind, finally going quiet as you drift off to sleep. There is peace in this silence, but that is painfully interrupted by a vision. You open your eyes to feel your body bound by shadowed tendrils that root themselves into your veins and latch themselves onto your back, gripping and choking your pulsing spine. Your ribcage is pried at by the horned and rooted shadow that looms over you, half a face and a red eye glaring down at you. The branches of darkness dig at every opening in your body, your eyes, your mouth, your nose violated by her prying touch, your skin, mind, and soul ripped apart and put back together again. You jolt awake, inhaling sharply and grasping at your chest. Something burns in your hand.
I look at my hand.
In your hand, a scorched flower shaped like a heart withers away, with small writing etched into the embers of the petal.
What's it say?
Salfin ertom, vath moon kona istad. Your soul is empty. What will replace it?
Be happy to your soul is my property.
It crumbles in your hand.
Is he now a warlock?
Yeah, I'm taking one more multi-class.
That's the twist none of us saw coming.
And Stonk,
Somehow he could pull it off.
as you wake and finally come to your senses, you realize this is the first time you've been alone with yourself in a very long time.
Oh shit, all the crimes I did were kind of fucked up. Wow.
In the morning, you all hear a knock at your door. Wake up! Wake up! The familiar voice of Adolfstein wakes you all up.
Alright.
We're waking up.
Waking up.
He stands outside of all of your doors.
At once?
Yes, at the same time.
Oh my.
He's just sitting in the hall.
Getting ready for the day.
Will you mention the earthquake?
Probably.
You can ask him about it.
My penis still there.
You're still delirious.
Different entirely. Oh, wow.
What are you talking about?
What? No.
That was.
Where's your penis? We can check.
I was just joking. I was gaffing.
Do you check?
Do
It was
you
like-
check?
I feel like Tavi wakes up and just like peeks downstairs and goes, the ball is just
Yeah.
it's still there.
Sure.
Anyone want to ask questions or you want to keep going?
I don't have questions to ask. I didn't feel the earthquake.
Everyone okay?
Yes.
Do we want to ask? Does he know about the earthquake?
Thankfully, we got shelter.
And a house that
This
can
time.
rebuild itself as it breaks.
How did an earthquake happen this high up?
What do you mean? I mean, yes, there was an earthquake, but we're attached to a mountain. This isn't floating in the sky.
Do you know how
The whole
earthquakes
party,
work?
the whole party stares at Slanei for like shocked silence for like a good 5 seconds.
Anyways, Ingvald is investigating the source of it at the minute, but it rarely happens.
Of course.
It was
Slanei
trying.
doesn't know how geology works.
The inner geologist in Stonk awakens.
Stonk does know rocks.
No, he wouldn't know this. He wouldn't know. I just know.
Oh, we said a wall.
What's the plan for today?
Well, first I'll be teleporting you back to Beruvik to fulfill your wish and help and wishing to support Beruvik. Anything you wish for or need before you go?
A stronger weapon.
I mean, you
Give me a
haven't got.
plus
Give me
2,
a plus
Lord.
weapon.
Give me a plus
Kicks out
2.
the window.
Ah!
Just saying, if you want to cancel the afterlife, now's your chance.
Now's the only
This
chance
is
you
your
get.
only chance you could get, really.
I mean,
I mean, you're gonna see Ingvald again.
Yeah, I'm
at the
gonna see
war.
Ingvald
Yeah.
again. I'll
Can
just
I-
cancel it the hard
It's
way.
filled with some of the honeyweed. Just like one of the old bottles
You
he
walk
had
up
on him
to-
from the very
You
beginning.
walk up to Ingvald mid-combat. Hey, about Rickard's wish. Yeah, can I just be left out of that? As covered in blood.
Adalstein looks over at Slanei and sighs and just snatches it from you and walks away.
Yay.
The wall opens and then closes behind him.
After Adalstein leaves, Stonk will just be like, "There was an earthquake last night."
Yes.
Yeah?
Did you not feel it?
No,
Seems like,
slept too well, I guess.
is that what you're gonna call it?
I slept, but I didn't feel a earthquake, so I must have slept well. Couldn't I have?
You're comatose.
Well, we'll be headed back to Beruvik today, so I suggest we all eat before we're back in the fighting. Locally.
So Adalstein comes back, shoves the cup into your chest, and then brings you towards a room that appears to have a teleportation circle kind of drawn in chalk in the
Now we're
ground.
getting breakfast before we go. Never mind, guys.
I got breakfast.
They hand you some tack.
Hard tack.
Wow.
Oh,
They
they
hand you a ration.
They at least like give them like dried dates or something.
Did they hand you a
Want some more shark?
1950s era MRE?
oh.
I'll say that you guys are able to grab a little bit of food before you go, but it appears that you need to get out.
Hospitality's run out.
Hospitality's run out. Get out. There's an emergency.
He's dealing with something else, maybe.
No, he said Ingvald's checking out the
Yeah, Ingvald's not
earthquake.
even
Yeah.
around.
Ingvald's going around slapping them out and telling it to stop.
Yeah.
Hey, stop it.
Stop shaking. Don't be scared.
Bad.
Doesn't
Bad
understand
mountain.
That honestly does sound like
at all.
Ingvald.
Yeah.
I live on this mountain. You're not allowed to show fear.
Unless it's to me.
My mountain.
Y'all ready to go back to Beruvik?
Yeah.
Alright, let's fucking go.
Ready to go back to Beruvik?
I now we have an awkward conversation with Gunnar and I.
Gunnar.
Gunner's gonna be like, what the fuck where are you?
We won!
We won.
We did run away. We did get kidnapped. Remember when we got kidnapped?
Yeah,
As
we're
you
just all gonna look at Slanei when he asks us what the hell happened.
As you stand in the center of the teleportation circle, Adalstein stands out of it and snaps his finger. And a thunderous snap of wind carries your bodies forcefully through the blizzard and face first into a heavy 2-foot blanket of snow. Ow!
Heavy for Slanei, very light for Stonk.
Slanei just kind of goes...
There's like the comically like body shape
Yep.
of Slanei in the snow pile.
There's no bounce, there's no nothing, just...
Yeah, you guys, there's not even like a slap sound, it's just... as you all fall into the snow.
This is the sound of snow compressing.
Yep.
Wait, I didn't get my big bonker.
You haven't got it yet.
I want to look it up. Where are we? Where did we land?
Yeah.
Still dazed, you look around to find yourself in the middle of a ring of ash trees that rise from snowy waves. Stonk, you wake and face one of the 3 giant yew trees that tower over the others. The air permeates with a frigid cold and a twinge of evergreen yew, the scent of death. You recognize this tree circle. Stonk, this is where you saw Adalstein and Beruvik.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yep.
it was. So then I kind of know where I am.
Yes.
Then.
Yes.
Lauren, is there a tree nearby? It looks like a cat just took out all his anger on.
Probably.
Yeah, because I think that was. It might be.
You did one of the ash trees. It
Yeah.
wasn't the big evergreen, but yeah, you did beat the shit out of one of the sacred ash
Yep.
trees.
Listen, he was going through it.
Well, that was fast. We couldn't have done that to get up there. Oof. Well,
Rest trip?
yeah. Well, I'm not gonna throw up. But if you guys need to throw up, now would be the time.
Your cup of mead is spilled. There's still like half of it, I'll say, in there.
Can I give like a pat on the back, like a sorry kind of like.
There's crying coming from within the hole. Slanei hasn't even gotten up yet.
You guys just hear a little in the snow, and Stone's like, oh, I know where we are, and you hear in the snow.
Is there just like a patch of brown snow?
Someone's just gonna reach down and like pick you up out of the hole.
He's just holding it, just crying.
I like to think that when Stonk picks up, the other half pours out.
Snow just put it back.
I've never been thankful for snow before.
It is quite the good cushion. I think we're like 5 minutes away from the Beruvik area. I'm very smart. I
You're
know.
in Beruvik within the walls.
I know, but I meant like the main area. Where,
Yeah.
The
like,
meat
the
hall.
city.
Yeah,
Gunner's home.
yeah. We're in the forest inside.
Are you just gonna walk up to Gunner's house and say, hey, you owe me 20 gold payout?
You suck, bitch.
Where's my money?
I mean, we should tell
I mean,
him.
we should.
Yeah, you
Let's go to
fucking-
Gunner.
Yeah,
You
let's
guys
go
want to go to
Gunner
Gunner's
first.
place? Alright, fucking
Mostly because
everybody is walking to Gunner's place,
the-
but
Big dick energy.
Elrik.
Except for Elrik, of course.
Thyra eventually, after you've rested and, you can stand and you can talk a little bit now, she eventually gets you up and explains to you, like, hey, like, we're gonna go talk to Gunnar now, he's the chieftain of...
Oh no!
Please follow me.
Okay, I sheath my sword and respectfully
Gunner
follow.
guy sounds respectable.
Yeah. Listen, this is weird. I don't know why I'm here, but, fate does funny things sometimes.
Elrik, you and Thyra walk into Gunnar's large and ghostly estate. It feels abandoned, with rooms as cold as the winter outside. You walk down a long hallway that looks over the courtyard, blanketed in feet of grey snow. The windows are frozen, but through the frosted glass you can see the frozen Skarani River that locks in the lake boats with ice. Thyra opens the door to a room with a large, long table, with 2 groups of people dominating each corner. The chairs are stacked to create barricades between each side. On the side closest to you, the Avnordians of Beruvik, including Gunnar Nyland and his law speaker Sven Leifson, recognize the tension. 5 figures in grey, tattered robes stand in opposition from the frosted window on the other side of the room.
Oh no, I didn't pick it up just quickly.
4 women and one man. On one side of the room stands a mature woman with dark grayed hair, a large hooked nose, and a narrow, perpetually displeased face. Next to her is a young, frail girl with braided brown hair, no older than 9. The man has a large nose and an intense and uncaring stare, and behind him, a meek, dark-haired woman hunches over and stares out the window, but as your entrance stirs her, her eyes widen. Elrik. At the head of the table, a pale, elderly woman with long, braided gray hair lifts her head. Her eyes lock with yours, and her emotion is interrupted. The family on the other side of the room eyes widen at Elric's arrival. The woman with the hooked nose lets out a sharp gasp, and the young girl stares at Elrik in fear and shock with a twinge of curiosity. She looks exactly like your sister at that age.
Oh no.
The old woman pipes up saying, Oh no. Why, look what the winds have dragged to our feet. The rest of you file in.
No. You gotta make an announcement before we can do it.
Oh, do you? Okay, you guys are walking down the hallway right now.
We're coming up to the door.
And this is as you are making eye contact, and she's like, "Oh, look what the dogs dragged in."
Stonk's like,
We're having the fucking expendables
we
walk
have
in.
arrived. We've brought reinforcements. What's going on? Oh.
Is that what you guys are doing?
Can I do an insight about
Yeah.
the other side?
I'd like to-
the-
Once you get in,
Yeah.
I need to know how you're entering first.
Okay, Stonk is entering, like he owns the place, and he's like, yep, I did a good thing.
You kick the door open
Yep.
and waltz in, and you say something.
Boom, baby.
Gunnar, your problems are solved. We're back. That's what I'm gonna say, and then I'm
Gunnar
going to see
pipes
everything.
up and just, and he drops his cane.
Ricker's walking
Can I-
in, posture
You see
immaculate.
Sven just, oh my god. Yes.
Can I also roll an insight on the room?
Yeah, so as you guys turn in, there is obviously some sort of confrontation going on here. You guys are like, hello! Okay, make an insight check.
I am not going to
Oh,
make
God.
an insight check yet.
My
Because you're dumb.
is 2.
I got like 25.
It's only
25, alright.
17.
Damn.
Oh, you're gonna get so much tea so quickly.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Yeah, it's only a 17.
Alright. With a 17, I'd say you note there's obviously something going on in this room. There are chair barricades, okay? You actually look around and you're just like, oh, there's a little bit of debris over there. There have been some shoes thrown. It has not been a good day. And you notice that Elrik... Oh, so why did I say Elrik? I say Gunnar and Sven, as both of you walk in, it's relief. But I'm dreaming. None of this is real. Fuck this.
This is all just a hallucination.
This is all a hallucination. I'm nuts.
I the stress of war has caused me to go fucking mad.
Tiril, you look at the people in this room, and you notice the elderly woman staring at Elrik, and you realize they look just like him.
Just like it.
I'm walking in, I'm like, there's like confidence and like posture's immaculate. I'm like, I told you so, energy is dripping. And walking in and seeing Elrik is like,
You guys,
Immediately flaccid.
You ruined it.
it's like, you.
Josh, you
Hard on, gone.
Josh, you kick the door in. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't even.
They don't even fucking notice until you guys are
I
already
don't
in there.
notice.
Slanei has like a smug look on his face, like, yes, I did it. Everyone's alive still.
The old, small, and frail woman stands from her side of the room gracefully and glides forward. Gunnar and Sven are too distracted by your return, just standing in shock to notice. And the others part for the old woman like small fish do for predators, her eyes fixated on the disheveled Elrik.
I'm covered in bandages.
She nears closer. Look what the world has done to you. Her eyes examine each of you who walk into the room. However, her focus stays on Elrik. While she stands at only 5'3", she still glares down at everyone in the room with her glowing hazel eyes. She gets close. It's been so long. Her arms wrap around you, her hands gently placing themselves on your shoulder, and she sobs. 10 years, Elrik! We thought you had died out there! And she squeezes you. And Rickard, only you notice her nails pry into his neck as she says this.
Oh.
I was so worried.
I feel like we're not the most important thing in this room.
The wind of our sails has been taken out.
Is that Stonk's inner mind and now at peace able to say this?
Just like, what the fuck is going on here? I thought we were the big guys. Who's
Tiril,
Elrik? Oh, yeah.
you notice the dark-haired woman who lingers in the back turns her head away. The young girl's eyes widen, and the old lady leans forward and clutches Elric's face. First you left, and then your grandfather. And for what?
Grandfather?
Her hand on your back unleashes 8 blasts of arcane energy. I did the math.
Mm-hmm.
It's over your max. Over your current HP
Mm-hmm.
plus 2 magic missiles,
Mm-hmm.
which knocks you dead. Elrik falls onto the ground dead with 40 points of force damage.
I have 43.
You have 43? Oh shit.
I have 43.
Then that's what she does. She bolts you right in the back and you fucking fall to the ground. You are still alive then.
With like 2
Good.
What the?
It's good thing I used cure wounds and all my thoughts.
Elrik falls to his knees and everyone in the room just kind of like moves away.
I'm running towards him.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
I am with Stonk on this
I'm
one.
about
What
to go
the
cast
fuck?
Cure wounds on him unless I'm stopped.
You are.
Yes.
The man puts his foot in front of you. He's a big guy.
Looks oddly familiar.
Yeah. If Elrik were buff.
I look at the man, squint at him, and then just cast a healing word on Elrik.
Okay.
Oh,
He's got the
thanks.
Mixler.
That's gonna make a
that's help.
difference.
I mean, it'll bring you back from dead to at least.
No, I didn't.
He's not dead.
Oh,
It
He's at
would
3.
it would have killed me had I not used every
Yes.
healing thing I
oh,
had.
I thought you were actually down. That's
I'm at 3 HP.
well. Now you're at.
Ooh, 4?
No, you're at 1 plus. You're at 5. You're healed for 5.
5 extra health. Now I'm at 8 HP. I'm doing
Elrik, the
great.
pulses of energy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 go in your back, and she lets you go as you fall to the ground. Everyone else stepping back like, oh shit. And you notice that the woman who looked away prior is just completely burying her face as if she knows what is about to happen. A hand falls onto your cheek. And she's going to cast Shocking Grasp on your face, and because she's a high-level spellcaster, that's definitely going to kill you.
Okay. Roll the hit.
Still has to hit.
Oh, has advantage because you're wearing armor made of metal.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Also, I'm almost certainly prone from that.
Fighting these guys, right?
Oh yeah, that definitely helps us 21.
Yeah, I don't have spell slots. I can't shield.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
So,
Where are they?
as this happens, and as this murder just takes place right in front of you, that originally, like, caring, like, oh, I missed you, look, just turns to just cold nothingness, and as Elric's body lies on the ground, she snaps her fingers and says, Farabrot! And both of you are gone, because she can't cast teleport on an unwilling person. You have to be an object, like a corpse.
Oh,
Remember how I told you?
You know, I figured there'd be a save. I didn't figure this is how she'd get around it.
It's not a save. No, I looked it up. I'm like, how do you teleport an
bad no one has counterspell.
unwilling person?
too bad no one has counterspell.
You could if you wanted to.
it would be funny.
It would be funny.
It would be very funny.
Yeah, but this is Elrik.
That is true. I mean, there's a reason I haven't stepped
You
in
just
yet.
let him disappear.
This is a Renaissance.
I'm taking this information and I'm letting them disappear.
Wouldn't you get more information
I-
if you solved it, though?
Hey, if we save Elrik, that's a problem because we did try and kill him. So I feel like Stonk and Rickard, our indifference is very.
Well,
Look,
he's
You,
not.
you guys are too busy
Smart.
just like...
I didn't see him.
I didn't see it.
I didn't
Look,
see it.
if we interfere, we gotta fucking deal with Elrik now. If he comes back like, oh no, we're like so stunned by this act.
I will say, if everyone else steps in, then we would be somewhat
We're gonna
obligated to step
add
in.
another tally to Elric's death count.
Slanei stepped in to try and help.
You cast Healing Word. You
Yeah,
didn't even get punched for it.
yeah.
I'm not stepping in.
Alright. So if no one wishes to
How
step...
do the people of Beruvik, like, how does Thyra...
They were like, oh my god, what's going on here? Ah, murder!
And they're not, like, stopping anything? Like, they're not...
No, they are stepping back. I'll say with your insight, because you rolled so high, they are terrified of this woman.
It's you too.
You have.
You decide.
Do druids have? Do
Humans
druids
or die.
do druids have counter spells?
No.
To be fair, I believe Elrik is just unconscious.
Mm.
So
Because Shocking Grasp at
It's only
like
one
8
attack.
HP, there is no way she can.
She can't do
double
his
his
entire
HP.
yeah.
So
but
she
is
can't do, like,
unconscious
70
on the
damage.
ground.
he is
He's
out
not
of it.
dead yet. You can-
Do we know that, though, like, really?
He literally just got boomed
Yeah, he
and
probably
then just
looks
fell to
dead.
the ground. He looks dead. The side of his cheek, you actually see like a hand burn mark on it.
Can I probably figure from Arcana check that he's probably not dead?
I'll say you can figure out an Arcana check how powerful she is.
I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. That's a shitty roll. That's 11.
11. Oh, you think you know magic?
Okay. Fair enough.
Think, you know?
you thought no,
Step
Lauren. He
Not
thought he knew
He
math.
thought he knew magic. And then you met this bitch. She casts teleport on your body.
Well,
Unless she needs to stab you to continually do it, because she'll cast magic missile again to just
Oh,
poop
listen,
you out.
she has to. I had to make 3 failed death saves, and that's one round
I mean,
where
technically,
some
he
people
is-
Alright,
could
so
do
just-
something.
Yeah.
I gave you guys plenty of time to say if you wanted to intervene, and no one said anything.
I said I'm only intervening if anyone else does.
Someone stepped in the way of Chris, but you could try and shove
I'll
past
just try
him.
and get through him.
Okay, what
I can move
opposition?
through. I can move through.
Oh
his
wait, is that
space.
just something
Just
happens
as it happens.
You go between his legs.
I go between his legs.
Small creatures.
Right.
And I will actually cast a higher level Cure Wounds, so that I can
Do
actually.
you still have? Oh no, you. Yeah.
we
sorry,
took. We got a full long
Yeah,
rest.
yeah.
I'll cast it at. We'll go 3rd level just for funsies.
Cure
ahead.
wounds or healing word.
Oops, we rolled a 1 on our authentication check.
Well,
Also, train!
Trey. Okay, 1 second. It's gonna be 3D8s.
3d8s? Yeah.
If Slanei is pushing forward, I think Tiril will try and get
6.
closer
Not lighting up.
with that.
I don't know why it's not. It's fine. 4, 6, 13 plus
Okay.
4, 17.
Hold on, I didn't actually damage myself in the shocking grass. Now I gotta damage myself, then undamage myself. Okay, I'm at 17.
You're at 17.
Uh-huh.
All right. So
The same shocking grass
same shocking grasp.
can just knock me the fuck right back out.
Yeah. She can only do that once per turn. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we in combat? Are we in
Do we want to roll
combat?
initiative? Because from what it sounds like, only one person wishes to intervene. Because the longer people don't say anything, the more I'm going to assume time is passing. That's why I kept moving.
I am just saying, I've said it before.
The player, will make no moral judgment.
Yes.
Stonk
If
is
you-
not involving unless you two do something.
I'm not doing anything unless Tiril does something, because she knows.
Or Slanei almost dies.
I want to try and get closer, because I want to, like,
You could
Shove the woman.
You could say something.
Rickard already doesn't like
chicken, what
Elrik.
the fuck?
Mhm.
Though that being said, he's liking his family a lot less over time.
Yeah.
Listen, you want me as the punching bag shield.
But if you think he's worth saving, he's worth saving, so. Your call. Yeah, I want to shove the woman off of Elrik.
Okay, so we've already got the family kind of moving into to defend. So what are you doing?
How do you push past them to get to
Yeah.
the woman?
Because the only reason Slanei could is because it's written into his class that he can run between people's legs.
But then it's like innately like non-violent, like sneaking past. I don't want to instantly go into.
You can turn.
You don't
into,
want to punch
a
someone.
creature and then bowl over.
Get between all of them
Be
and
an elk.
become a bear.
You could just say something.
I'm so bad at this. Sorry.
No, good.
Let Slanei do it alone.
I want to show it at Gunnar.
Okay, what do you guys say?
You're just gonna let this happen?
As he turns to you, as he says this, he's at this time like trying to like pick up his cane on the ground, and he looks towards you and he holds up his hands. He's like,
Lauren, did he have a cane before we left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Hilda fucked up his leg.
It's too late. Slanei's already fucked with her.
Okay. Now it's the family's turn.
Okay.
Not just Whamma's turn. Because if that's the case, knowing your family, it's probably your dad who's gonna magic missile you this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh wait, no, I don't. That's an auto hit. I
Wait,
totally
stop
forget
this.
auto hit.
You seem scared.
He's gonna cast it at a second level because that's the second level's magic missile is the meme.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good.
It's not like 44.
Oh, I rolled 4 fours.
Oh my
Alright,
god.
I rolled
that's
4
16. That's 20 damage. I'm out.
He's down.
Wait, so how much did you have?
Yeah.
So each 3 darts would be 12 plus 3. So the 3 darts are enough. So it takes all 4 to knock me out.
Well, no, they each get a +1 as well.
Yeah.
I count for that.
Oh, okay.
So 3 darts would be
5,
15. I was at
5,
18.
15.
So I take all
Okay.
4 to knock me out.
Okay, then got it.
Then it doesn't do extra.
So it takes this whole thing to knock me out, but it doesn't make me death save.
The
Poor
narrow
Elrik.
woman with the hooked nose kind of grabs the girl and she's like, it's fine, and, turns her away. The woman kind of
She
looks...
also shoots magic.
The older woman looks around, just like kind of actually confused by the fact that people are like
I haven't
shit about it.
I haven't acknowledged her presence. I've been a bit distracted, to be fair, but I haven't.
Yeah.
They don't know I know you. You're just some randos who
And
rolled
she
in.
just looks down at you with pure rage. You were unconscious.
I'm unconscious. I
know.
don't see this.
She looks down at you with pure fucking rage as you lay unconscious. And she's probably
A single magic missile.
she'll do level 1 magic missile just right in the middle of your chest. Bump, bump, bump.
Okay, now I'm dead.
So if you want to do something,
No
this
one
is the
has
last
the
chance.
reason. The
So
reason
how
I'm
many
skipping.
people are
The
in
reason I'm skipping ahead is because no one is saying they're doing anything other than Tiril and Slanei.
I know.
So unless you guys want to do something, I'm going to keep moving.
I'm just saying that there's one last chance.
Yeah, I
for
forgot
someone to
about that.
step
I
in.
forgot about that.
Wait a minute.
You have one last turn
How
to
wise
save
does
me.
this lady look?
Wise?
Yes.
I don't think you can gauge that in 6
You
seconds.
can't look at someone and determine that.
Unless you're a rogue mastermind,
Yeah.
specifically.
Gunnar was scared them, but then Gunnar also thought like people were gonna die in a minute. So like,
Okay.
She's a grandma.
Gunnar gave you the look of you engage, we all die.
They built a chair for it to protect themselves from a grandma.
screaming from every animated Shit. movie.
Alright. What you got?
I mean,
You can try that.
that's the only thing I got at this
Yeah.
point.
I am dead. You can't heal me.
I still haven't changed any of my spells from that.
Oh yeah, you're... Yeah.
Oh.
that's fucked up. If you do... Okay, that one's...
What are you saying?
That one's good. You should do that.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
What are you doing?
Blindness, deafness.
Okay, Constitution saving throw.
We figure if there's something in Elric's family that is...
17.
God
Oh,
damn.
shit.
Advantage on magical. It's saving throws against magical effects.
Wizards.
Fucking elves.
What?
Elves.
Oh.
That's racist. Come on.
No, they're very human.
Oh, okay.
How much-
Yeah, I can't do anything to stop this now.
I'm a
All right,
human then.
that's
Why
fail.
would you think
You
I'm
too.
an elf?
Last chance. Do you do something?
I don't think I.
Well, if I do
Anything
anything
else
magical,
yet?
that's not going to work because my.
You have bear.
I
You have bear.
could just be
You are bear.
But I don't want to be responsible for getting all these people killed again.
Can I go
Again.
Do you want to save the town or do you want to save me?
Negotiation is not your
You're the
forte.
only
Who is
one.
already fucking dead? I am so fucking dead.
They're not listening.
I am a corpse.
Again.
How many of the family is there?
There are 5 of them total.
And then there's
Two of them are
they're
not fighting.
2
2 of them are not fighting. One of them is like 9.
Also, there's the river. We'll get there. Whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, there's someone missing.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm rolling to make my decision, not to roll for anything.
Okay.
Bear.
Bear.
Alright, Bear.
boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
This is not how I thought this would go.
Alright.
Do you think we just let you go?
I want to just tumble forward, go bear, and then
Barrel.
try and tackle this woman.
Alright, you're gonna do that. So that'll be
This is a terrible idea.
make an athletics
Oh,
check
absolutely.
against hers.
Oh yeah.
She isn't resisting in the sense where
She's not gonna muscle her way
she's
out.
not gonna muscle her way out of this. What she's trying to do, she's trying to hold on to your collar for dear life.
Disadvantage for arthritis.
That's a valid point.
Is this the granny from the Madagascar movies? I think that's.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Imagine if the granny from Madagascar was evil instead of chaotic neutral.
You dropped that. That's my fault.
Sorry, I can't find any of my shit.
Are you looking for bear stats?
Yeah.
I'll try and find them.
But I have the big
I'm
document, but I
busy.
forgot what the document's called.
I'm
I'll
busy
find it real
running a
quick.
D&D session
What?
right now.
Whoa.
Bear.
You are?
Yeah.
5e.
My health bar
It's a
is
brown bear, right?
I have to do all my death
Okay.
saves.
Polar bear.
Polar bear.
Polar bear. Oh, polar bear, right? Yeah.
Moon druid.
Polar bear.
What happened?
If you're using your action to attempt to grapple her, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Shove probably.
Shove 5 feet
Shove.
away.
Okay.
Or prone.
Either way works.
Roll.
Ah, sorry.
Athletics.
Yeah, I believe you have a +5 to your athletics.
You have to be a bear.
15.
All right. Tiril just turns into a bear, lunges in, and as she, who's too busy looking at Elrik to notice, gets knocked away and out of it. So you end up shoving. So it's a shove, not a grapple?
Yeah.
Shove? Okay, so you shove her away then. And she just completely, disoriented, looks around and then looks back to you, and her icy stare is now directed at you. Anyone else want to do anything before it's her turn then?
You're gonna want to talk. You're gonna want to deal with this scary lady non-combatively.
Can I also just put a hand on his body like she was?
On who?
On
Elrik?
Elric's? Yeah.
Okay.
Now she's not holding an object by herself.
Interesting.
That's a little meta.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I
We
would
don't
say
know the
out of
teleport.
character, super intelligent, super
Yeah.
awesome. In character, you would not know that rule.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Maybe Rickard could think that, but
Yeah.
not Slanei.
Maybe Rick on a good day,
Yeah, Rick-
hold up.
Right, yeah. Sorry, I wish
No, that's
I kind
fine.
of wish I'd say yes to that, but
Rule of cool.
yeah, for my own sake, we gotta say no.
I am going to step closer to the confrontation now, close enough that if the big guy tries to make any moves, I'm going to attack him.
Alright, sounds good.
And I will mention, I was not at 2 HP when this started. She took me out in 2 seconds. I feel like I should mention this.
You're
2
dead.
seconds.
Okay, continue.
I want to go and follow Slanei over just so I'm
Yeah.
closer if anything.
So you guys are just whoa, lady.
Hold it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Tiril is our
What the fuck is
call to
going
action.
on?
Tiril's gonna talk it out as a bear.
Rickard, did you want to do anything? Totally in character to do
Yeah,
nothing.
just no. That's fine.
You could just watch.
No one's
Yeah,
watching.
I'm not actually preparing for combat, but I am taking notes.
Do you
Got it.
on
you
this
just
whole
go.
family. If these guys come back up, I want to be prepared.
Fair enough.
Okay, now I feel more justified because I'm realizing they are just shitheads, and I know that they are. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Tiril was very justified in starting the fight.
You're justified in starting the fight. Can you win?
Oh no.
Can you win it?
Because it is now old lady's turn
Yeah, old
at the
lady.
bottom of the turn. And you shoved her 5 feet away from Elrik.
Yeah.
Just to spend half her movement
The
to stand up.
range of teleport is 10 feet.
But you have to be touching
Oh.
the object, right?
You went up to 8. creatures of your choice you can see within range, or one single object you can see within range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone...
Counterspell could have done that, but...
Nope. Rickard's just like...
There's something I'm debating, Lord, in this situation. Because I feel like I know where we're going with this.
Self-preservation is kicking in here a little
Everyone
bit.
just stares, and as she disappears, the big guy steps down, and he moves a little bit back. And the hook-nosed woman looks around and says, "Why, look at that! I'm in charge now. Now which one of you is Gunnar?" Like, nothing happened.
What the fuck?
Now that the guy is, like, backed away and doesn't seem as aggressive, I back off, too.
Gunnar looks over, he's like... And he kind of raises his hand. Now let's move over to what's going on with Elrik.
Oh,
Sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry.
We tried.
I mean,
Lauren?
I could
Some
have
of us tried.
more.
Some of us tried.
I'm assuming she's gonna bring me back for shenanigans.
Yes.
No, your
Well,
character's dead.
Well, here's the thing. And this is where I'm struggling.
Uh-huh.
I have to be willing. And that's where I'm genuinely struggling here.
So to be fair, you guys have been kind of brought back unwillingly a couple times at this point.
Are we waiving that rule in this universe?
I say we're waiving it where...
Because I don't want him to not come back. But also, he's fucking not willing.
Yeah.
If it means anything, you don't have to be willing for Revivify.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
what
that's
it is.
valid.
What it is.
That's valid.
Revivify is what it is.
Nice glasses.
I meant to do that.
Because what she
That's
does...
the only exception. Or I suppose if you do witch.
Elrik, you are pulled from the darkness and you gasp and you hear her say, "You know, Elrik, when you left, your grandfather's heart couldn't take it."
Grandpa died.
Oh, you killed Graham.
You look down onto a stone floor beneath you. Your heart stops as you realize where you are.
Oh no, it is familiar! No! No!
It all comes full
God.
circle.
I use the meme to my advantage.
Pictures of me.
You lift your head and see Iðunn staring
This is
out
my
the
phone, I just
window
realized.
inside your family's disheveled library.
Also, she has to kill me to bring me back.
Yes, you did.
Well,
You're
no, if we go back to town,
Yep.
she has to kill me again to go back.
Unless you want to stay.
Continue.
Elrik, are you just wordless?
He's when he made the wish, he assumed that they would just, get kicked out and they'd have to get driven to town, and he could deal with it there with a support network. This is not how he thought it would go. So he's a bit also he's been murdered 3 times in the past 2 days.
Yeah, but-
So
This is impressive. This is like world record territory.
so he's trying not to have a seizure at the moment. Also, he's been killed 4 times and he has hemophilia.
Your grandfather. That man knew betrayal. His own sister tried to kill him, if you don't remember. Selfishness has consequences, and our poor sister got what was coming for her. He carried that betrayal to his deathbed because betrayal doesn't heal. But you, boy, your selfishness caused many, many problems. Do you understand what you've done to our family? And she begins to walk towards you.
I'd like to curl up, please.
Are you not going to say anything?
No. This is
died.
normally he might pick up a firebomb. He's not doing too hot.
I lost my grandson and my brother within a month. After every sacrifice that we've made for this family, my blood, my bone, you abandoned us. Your mother, father lost their child, and your sister, your poor sister. She holds her hand up to her heart and sighs, her eyes turning towards you.
Can I insight check that?
Go ahead.
I have disadvantage because I'm exhausted. Does the Revivify get rid of exhaustion?
Sure.
Okay, I don't...
You are the adrenaline has just straight up brought you back.
Okay, that's a 14. Oh, I know a lot of this is bullshit, but is she okay? It's not I know there's an act over it, but like...
You are looking at this and you're like, what's her point? What's she getting at?
What's her angle this time?
Yeah.
Come on, bitch.
My question is this okay from that statement? Is that just straight up sob story, or is there a story under the sob?
She's like the narcissist.
Oh, what did you roll?
14
Say
insight.
hi.
Grandpa's dead.
I'm talking about Sis.
Sis? Oh, she said nothing about that. She's leaving that up to you to figure out.
Okay.
Did you get what you wanted, Elrik? Did you get your freedom? Did ya?
No, I'm back here.
Your absence only gave your unwanted responsibilities to your father. Running away doesn't make a problem disappear, boy. When you grow up, you'll understand that. She struts quickly towards you, her eyes digging deeper into your still bleeding mortal wounds. You selfish brat! I led your funeral, boy, and we mourned you like you were dead. She gets closer, and as you instinctively move back a little bit, you realize she's placed you in a corner.
I'd like to
Took
go
you to a second location.
I'd like to go farther into that corner, please.
But after everything our family has done, everything I have done, thousands of years of upheld tradition and sacrifice, and you just leave.
You walked away.
She grabs your chin.
Thousands of years of incest.
She grabs your chin and, kind of pulls your stare into hers. After all of this, I should hate you. She lifts her hand and hits the back of it across your cheek.
And I get knocked out because I have 1 HP.
She does 0 damage because she has negative strength.
Okay.
She heals you from the...
Yeah, she heals you from it. And I do. You ruined everything. I prayed that your father would find your corpse at the drop-off. I'd rather have you killed yourself than you run away. Her hand comes up to her face and drops to her chin. Oh, you were just a boy. What am I saying? And she walks towards the window.
Can I insight check that?
Go ahead.
I think I know the answer, but I can have hope.
Yeah. She hits her head on the side, knocks herself out immediately, then falls on her away.
23. You've fallen for this shit before. But this time you're not.
Okay.
Hey, at least you saw through it this time.
Yeah.
She turns away and buries her hands in her face, walking back towards the window. You didn't understand. You were still just a child. My little Elrik would never. She looks at you, waiting for a response.
Right, little Elrik? You would never.
You would never.
I would like to... Can I make a deception check to pull weakly nod?
Go ahead.
It's not entirely a deception. He doesn't... I just want to hide the fact that this is unwilling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I rolled an 18.
Oh.
Ooh.
What's my deception skill?
I hope it's good.
I mean,
22.
Okay.
I've played this game before.
So do I need to make the
If she wants to see have I broken, she needs
Right.
to insight that
Right.
nod.
insight? Okay. That was almost a 17 plus stuff. She smiles at you.
Now I want to insight that.
And she begins to walk towards you.
Insight loops.
She puts her hands
best
on your
scene
shoulders and she's, oh, Rick, your absence has brought this family much pain. I'm sorry, but at least we're together again. But she'll hug you.
There's still
You
the
gonna give you a little
window.
smooch? Just a little kiss
She
on the cheek?
stands you up and says,
This was supposed to be a meme.
perhaps you've... And as she stands up and she notices, like, your that you're a big, tall boy now. She says, perhaps you have...
I'm like 5'7".
She's 5'3". But she, helps you get up and looks at you endearingly and puts her hand on your face and says again, perhaps you have grown up.
I don't like that, Lauren. Somehow that's the worst thing you said so far.
We'll go back to Beruvik, but for now, I want you to use this time to remember who you are.
I had to kill you to teleport you. Couldn't have just asked.
He tries to not care.
He
just sort of looks at her.
She walks out of the room.
Oh no. I'd like to flop on the floor, please.
You're already doing that.
Can I flop harder?
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody do the
Bro, you
flop.
could clip to the wall at any time. Great time save.
Thank you.
Do you wander around your old home?
No.
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 Really?
After a bit, he will, I don't know where he went when, shit like this happened. Because shit like this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a hidey hole somewhere. It's probably too small now.
You go to your room.
Can I go to the sheep pen?
You can go to the sheep pen.
I'm gonna go to my therapy sheep.
Bah.
They're all new sheep. Oh god, I don't know how long sheep live. They're probably all new sheep.
Bah.
You run
It's
over
me.
to the
Gregory.
to the sheep's home, and you bury yourself in a corner with hay, barely recognizing the sheep, except there's like one old one that's just kind of in the corner.
Is it like a lamb with like a
Yeah.
funky birthmark? Now I recognize
Yeah, you know,
the
it's
fur
like a
pattern.
lamb with a black spot near its tail.
Yeah.
Bah.
Your body is still aching from the cold, and your chest and back are bruised from the arcane bolts and electricity your own grandmother had impaled you with.
Bah.
You, every so often, turn your head and feel your mind begin to pull itself backwards, but you try and stay present.
I would like to use my action to cry.
Bah.
Back in Beruvik. Everyone stands there baffled, and the family, like nothing had happened. Oh, look at that. I'm in charge now. Now, which one of you is Gunnar? Gunnar pipes up and raises his hand. That would be me. She steps forward and says, thank you, and don't fret. The boy will be fine. And everyone in the room kind of goes,
Can I roll an insight on their
I'm not crazy. That was Elrik right now, right? Thought he died.
And I told you beforehand he didn't die. 14.
You shot him with an
14
arrow.
insight.
I shot him
I mean-
with an arrow.
He did have like a
She believes
shot
that
with an arrow.
he's like,
he had a
he's not
bruise
dead.
right
Oh,
between
okay.
the eyes.
He'll be fine. He'll be back eventually. You know, she believes it. And Gunnar just kind of sort of, who are you people? She lifts her head and just kind of snoodily like puts up her head a little bit and says, servants of God. We've been instructed by the people himself to protect your town from the oncoming.
Did you figure out why they're so fucked up yet?
No, I had a feeling that was the bit, but now that I've heard that, I can lay that to rest. I do.
I worked hard on this backstory.
I know. Lots of personal experience.
Slanei and
I thought I was
Rickard
picking up
noticed that the
projection.
little girl whispered to herself, we weren't told that we'd be protecting heathens. The woman shrugs and continues. Now, I don't want to make any rash decisions without my mother Iðunn, so could the nearest guard, preferably like a nice one, take me and our family to our rooms, preferably ones that don't smell like troll? Thank you. And Gunnar just kind of, with his eyes wide, and just like waves his hand towards Sven, who sends like a couple guards to escort them out.
Kicks the can down the road.
Follow them so badly.
You can if you want.
That's a bad idea, though.
To be fair, the one who would insta-kill you is gone. There are people who would almost insta-kill you.
Still in the room, yeah.
Kidnaps child, leaves.
What?
Gunnar, just as they exit, just hand up to his face, and he just, like, pulls his, like, eyelids down, like, ah!
You're welcome.
Well, that was interesting. Hello, Gunnar.
Oh boy, am I glad to see you!
Glad to see you too.
And he just, like, pushes himself up against the wall, and he's just like, first, the trolls, and now, whatever these people are, some more thralls of Ingvald, I guess. Oh my god, and he just, like, puts his hand over his eyes. Could you have explained that at all? Do you know anything about this? Because from what I'm assuming, you've come here to save our town just like they did. And he, like, puts his eyes up. He's like, is this Ingvald's trick? Does he think this is funny?
Probably.
Really does.
Probably.
Do I share information?
Do you think Rickard would have inferred at this point that these are the byproduct of a wish of some sort?
Yeah.
Ingvald did make a comment last session about
He
this.
did make a comment, but now it's like, oh, okay.
Well, first off, you see a bunch of strange people in Beruvik who obviously have big old magical powers, and he explained how he sent a bunch of archmages. Yeah, you connect the dots, so you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm the last horse that crosses the finish.
Yeah, everyone gets it at this point. Tavi, as they're walking out of the room. Oh!
To be fair, Tavi was recovering from being dead. Tavi wasn't in that conversation very well.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Tiril the only one that hasn't died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Druids are
a
hard
woman.
to kill.
She's a wolf.
She's a woman.
Yeah, moon druids for you.
She's not a ghost.
The only one who can kill a
or
moon
zombie.
druid is a moon druid.
Yeah, that's true.
Or cliffs. Anyway.
Anywho. Well, seems like you are having quite the entertaining time. Well, I came only to inform you that we accomplished our goal. We got Ingvald's favor.
Yeah. He stands up. He's just like, if you don't mind, feel free to. We can have this conversation in my office, in my nice chair. He's going to grab his cane and he is going to walk. He's not even using the cane. He's just like trying to like.
Lauren, I know I'm being abused in a corner,
Yes.
but out of character, can I know how many of these chairs got broken during this scuffle? Not from
I'd say
this scuffle. The pre-party
I'd say
scuffle.
like 2 of them have broken, but they're not like shattered. It's like somebody like threw it and then like the leg broke off. You know, nothing amending can't fix.
I just want to know the
You
drama.
did notice one shoe that was gone.
I just want to know the drama before.
Gunner's shoe is gone.
Oh, okay. Did he throw it at them and it looks like it was thrown back at him?
Yeah, probably.
At like 44 force damage.
Catapult.
They would.
It's lodged into the wall.
Alright. Gunnar walks his way over to the office. Do you guys follow?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gunner's office is cold and just overrun with paperwork. Over a dozen scrolls and letters lay spread atop his desk with broken wax seals of the many chieftains and noble people of the Avnordian Empire. Tavi, I feel like you would instinctively check for Galethorpes, yeah? Go ahead, roll perception. And Rickard, you roll investigation because you're not looking for something, you're looking in general.
Okie dokie. I rolled another fucking 3 plus 8.
That's not
So
nothing.
11.
Okay.
12.
12.
My passive is higher than that.
The 12, Tavi, you don't see it. Rickard, you notice the following cities. You notice a broken and messy dark green seal of Valterwick on the table with giant elk horns on it. And you also notice the dark red seal of Oldengate with a hawk skull on it.
Oh.
The other ones you recognize are from the Avnordian Empire and other noble people, but you can't pin it.
Gotcha.
He sits down in his table and just kind of goes, okay, walk me through what happened.
Well,
You disappeared.
Well, Slanei can start that part.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair.
Go on. Slanei is normally is 4 foot, is currently trying to shrink himself down to a 3A, trying to make himself less noticeable as he starts telling the story.
Okay. So, could you just roll a quick persuasion check? I'm doing this just to see how empathetic Gunnar is.
Because you did get enslaved. That is kind of rough.
I'm gonna
Not
use the
terrible.
luck stone.
Wow.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a 6 or 12. So that's going to be a 17.
17. 17? Do you have...
I have
do you have
+5. I have proficiency.
I didn't know you had proficiency. Okay, he nods his head and he's just like, Dagfin? Uh-huh. And you killed him?
Yes. Well, not me.
Keel hauled him.
Also,
We
technically did it.
strung him up on the side of the
Yeah. I get it.
Still dead.
the boat's up the coast if he wants it.
So that's where he went. Alright.
Good news.
Well,
No more owing money.
I'm flattered.
Heal people.
I'm flattered that you kept your oaths and came back. As you can see, I'm not doing well! And he points to the table, and just everything in this room is just disheveled as hell. We've got the ice trolls still demanding the livestock. I was able to convince them to not, take the livestock of, the everyday people. So they just took mine?
Did they just do the math that he had 1/5 of every sheep and took all of them?
And then this family of Ingvald's thralls comes along and come around with these outrageous demands and threatening nature. They're so fucking entitled, thinking they were sent here by God himself.
Oh
my God.
I think they kind of were.
You think
In a
Ingvald did
sense.
this?
It was a wish.
And he just is about to vomit, but there's just nothing to vomit because he had to give all of his livestock away.
He had nothing to eat.
Nothing to eat.
Just dry heaving in the corner.
Okay.
How thin does this man look?
He was already kind of gaunt before, and he was already, disheveled and depressed before, so he's got the vibe, he looks the same, just worse.
Slanei, can you create food and hot cocoa?
I don't have that prepared.
Good berries. I don't have that prepared. Never mind.
But yes, when I take the next long rest, I can.
Get this man some hot chocolate.
No, it's bland. It's tasteless. And it's water.
If only I had more of that. Sure.
Now, where's the cat?
Oh.
The whole party.
He's
Didn't
gonna,
make it.
as you guys go silent, Gunnar goes, oh, shit.
He didn't make it.
Oh, God. Gunnar, just kind of, holds the bridge of his nose again. He goes, okay.
Also, that was kind of racist of you. Call me a cat. He senses a microaggression across the grave.
I felt the sense from the heaven. Racist.
They're my strongest anti-racist soldier, Bill.
He, looks up at you all and just says, you can all, I'm assuming Stig and Goa are still willing to house you. Feel free to go back there. I will summon you when we inevitably need to chat again, but make me one promise. That family who's here, keep an eye on them. Don't let them get away with shit.
Okay.
And he sighs to himself. I have nothing to control them. You're all I got left, guys.
You guys own the town.
Man, we control so much right now.
You can mildly
And
inconvenience
he looks up, and Gunnar's just kind of giving, he's got that fuck it face on. He's like, and you know what? While we're at it,
Okay.
as champions of Ingvald, you obviously all know what you're doing with that divine blessing or whatever the fuck he gave you. Just help out. Get shit done.
I think you guys got promoted to mayor.
I think we just got...
We're the new town representatives, everyone.
For the animal
You're
crossing
the
there,
council.
that's a fun
As
episode.
Gunnar is giving this speech, and you're only partially listening, because
Yeah.
you already know what's going on. You see your reflection in the frosted mirror.
Oh.
And you see the black-eyed version of yourself looking over to you. And it says, the afterlife. We're not so different, are we? Ingvald can't give you that, but I can.
Ooh.
He can.
Ooh.
At this time, Rickard kind of summons you away, and the reflection looks over at, another mirror in a different... Not a mirror, another window in another room. You guys all leave? You go into Stigengola's now?
I want to, before closing the door to Gunnar's, just you're right about that family. They might help, but just not in the ways you want them to.
He shrugs and gives you a fucking... I know, I learned that, thank you. They just killed a man in the middle of my war room.
Where are you keeping
There's no fighting here. This is a war room.
Where are they staying, basically?
My home.
Okay, so they're living in this area.
They're living in this house.
And we can't.
Could I, if you don't mind, may I take one of your other rooms? I just closer on me.
That's a power move.
And, he kind of, sits back a little bit and goes, you know what? Fine. You can take Laris's room.
Alrighty then.
And as he says that, this twinge of worry just goes over him thinking about Laris right now.
I'm sure he's fine.
He's fine. He's totally fine.
Yeah.
Just don't look at the bottom drawer.
Schrodinger's Lars, we don't ever talk
that's
about
a spank bank.
Right? Are you all heading out then?
Kelly.
Mocha doesn't want to be a part of this. That's fair, Mocha.
You guys, I'm out of here. Bye.
Oh, come on.
Kelly's innocent hall.
Not for long.
No, Kelly, no!
What are you looking up? What are you...
Oh, he's
doesn't know
going
what a spank bank
incognito.
No!
Go incognito, Kelly.
I don't care.
Alright.
There's a few famous ones.
This is debauchery to you.
Do you want to read the definition aloud for the podcast?
No. We're moving on.
You want to see the jar?
No.
No.
Bad.
Moving on.
Don't make me get the spray bottle.
Okay, you're all leaving now? You're leaving Gunnar alone? He's gonna go cry in his room again?
I need to figure out which room is.
I'll say that the law speaker kind of walks you over to the room, and he's just like, yeah. And you remember where you confronted Gunnar's room? Laris's room is a few doors down, so it's implied that you're also guarding his room.
Yeah, I suppose we should go talk to Couturier.
Is there a different room that has 3 trolls in it?
I should probably talk to Couturier.
You just
Are you the
don't
best
think
person
away
for
Are
that?
you the best person for that?
No, but I need to do it.
Before that, though, are you going to seek out a reflection?
Absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's a small
So
bed for you.
what are
Probably
because
a
they're
small
going
bed for
from
you.
what it sounds like you guys are going to go to
Size bed for
Stigengala
you.
now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys going to Stigengala's?
Yeah.
Yeah. While they're doing that, do
I
you
never
want to
seen
like
it goes
divert or what do you think? Do it later.
I see it fire.
I think I'm going to divert, and I'm going to go over to that lake.
Okay. The Lake of Ashes. It's covered in snow. There's no reflection.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize it was
It's
covered.
actively blizzarding at the minute.
Oh,
You could scrape
well then I'll
off.
then
You
I'll
can
look
scrape
at that.
off some.
What was that?
You can scrape it off, and you know,
Sure.
and you just kind of squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yeah.
All right. As you do that, the kind of foggy reflection that comes back to you, only vaguely, like looks like you. You're like, oh, there's the hair, there's the beard, there's the mouth. I think those are the eyes. Yeah, oh, those are the eyes.
Yeah, those are the eyes.
What do you say?
Shit, what is the... This is a difficult thing. This is a difficult person to start conversations with.
It's true. The Baylor is a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Runs in the family.
Runs in the family, yeah.
So...
The abuse in this family has lasted for generations once this man started.
It's lasts for goddamn empires.
Yeah. Longer than the Avnordian Empire.
So... Is this all according to plan?
No.
I figured you didn't intend for your family to get involved. I did not foresee this either.
Well, there is one opportunity that comes from this. There is no order here. Your cousin, Gunnar, no Jarl. Neither is Nyland or Westergaard, who you know is another prominent nobleman. Beruvik is weak, Rickard. Nyland's son is a hostage. The bastard of Braver found him. He may be stubborn, but if you can convince him that you might be of use, he may trust you more. You know Hilda. You know how she fights. She'll choke out the city and torch its corpse. Surrender is not an option. You wanted power? Now's your chance.
Let's go, bruh.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how to end.
Yeah, it's just like, God, fuck.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is, I'm just trusting that, everything else is going to plan.
You have one objective. Survive. I don't care whose side you're on in the end of this. You hear me?
Understood.
He nods his head, and the reflection's gone. As you walk through the city of Beruvik, let me give you some exposition.
Flavor text.
The snow falls less harshly here than it did in Jotunheimen, but the snowfall has been much worse. Beruvik fights the drifts of snow that climb their way up its 20-foot wall. Trenches have been dug throughout the city, creating alleyways of 3 to 8 foot drifts. Nobody wanders outside, with all homes scattered around looking abandoned and blackened by the stark white snow. No torchlight is visible from any windows or doorways.
Bless you.
You make your way over to the partially buried home of Stig and Gulla that has a little trench kind of dug right where the door should be. Is it ready?
Who wants to knock on the door?
They don't know me.
They also don't know me.
Yeah.
Toffee.
They know you.
No, they didn't.
You were there for
You
the
were
first
there
night.
for a little bit.
He
and then
kept
you
going
slept
to sleep
your
with his boyfriend.
Yeah, after
I
that.
think Toby should go first. Toby's the friendly face.
I'll knock on the door.
Oh.
Knock, knock, knock.
No. Hello. It is I.
The door opens
A
and
big man.
Gulla looks up and she looks really very tired and just goes, "Oh my, Stig!" And she looks back and Stig kind of pipes up, "What? They're here! What? They're here! Oh!" And he kind of gets up and looks, he's like, "Hey, come in. And they invite you all in.
I lost Granny's mittens.
You did. Everyone lost Granny stuff.
There you go in.
Except for Slanei, who didn't get one.
I didn't get one, so I couldn't lose it.
Can I do it? Hello, nice to meet you.
Oh, it's like, are you a friend? Oh, nice to meet you. And they welcome you right in as well. And you kind of see them kind of be like, who is this? Oh, it's Slanei. Nice to see you again.
They remember the
And they
name.
all sit down. And you see sitting in the middle of the floor, playing with, a couple dolls made of hay.
Does she have her little fish?
Petunia. And she looks up and sees you all here, and her face lights up, and she smiles.
Oh no.
So, to avoid actual, sadness and trauma, I can deal with edgy, incestuous abuse any day. But a crying 4-year-old, no.
I have to deal with that at work every day.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
make this
not
child cry.
So,
Your dad's dead.
I would like one of you guys to explain the situation of what happened to how Mikkel died. I'll make you do a couple rolls just to see how they take it. And then if any of you wish to comfort Petunia, you can do that. I just don't want to role play this because you all know how it's going to end. Everyone's going to cry.
Yeah.
So
I
I'll
will-
do a comfort duty.
You can comfort. I'm gonna tell.
Oh wait, never mind. That's
Hands her lollipop. Tough break, kid. Your dad's
you
dead.
sit down next to Petunia and she hands you one of the dolls.
I'll humor it. I don't know. I'll not interact with children.
And she's she's walking them up your body and you're just holding one of them.
Pretty much.
So where?
Shit. I forgot
Mikkel,
her name.
where is he? And the doom just washes over both of their face.
I forgot to mention something. I wanted to remove the flower from the book before we got here, but it might be too late.
Yeah.
Oh
I'll
well.
say you have it on you right now, but you're...
Yeah, I'm not gonna hand this book to her
No.
with the flower in it. You can't have the god-killing flower.
If your audience was too lower, you would have.
Yeah.
Honestly, give it to her. That's a plot coupon for the next campaign.
We can write it out of the story just like we did the first bottle of poison.
Stonk will kind of stay standing and just relay.
You're probably taking a very factual approach. Just objective, here's what happened,
He lost himself and then he died and he's not coming back and sorry, it sucks, but nothing you can do.
Yeah.
He's not very good at the comfort part of it.
Roll
but
a persuasion check
that's what you're there
just
for.
to get your part across,
Mhm.
and then I would
Also, and in the thing, are you telling them that
do you want to reread
No.
the letter?
I'm not.
I mean,
not
not
that
No,
part.
not
not
read
that
it,
part,
read
but
it.
are you going to tell them, hey, you're in charge now, or are you just telling them?
Oh, Stig and Gola?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I will tell them in a minute.
you gotta keep her,
We can't be responsible for a small child.
obviously.
Where did I go? Oh, there it is.
It was a mistake to allow a small child in a D&D campaign. Never again.
We
Never
didn't
again.
think this through.
No.
If you look,
Just every single one of your backstories we don't think through, Tyler.
if
Until
there's a
too
small
late, and
child,
then
you
feel
better
like there's
plan
a
it.
bit of a trend. Oh my
At
god.
20
Oh my god.
plus 2, 22.
So I'll say that as Stonk is explaining this, you all even feel it, feel just a little, weird. Stonk's being, completely genuine. It's not like he's crying about it or he's being sad, but he's, respectfully addressing what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That scene from Brother Bear without the music.
Yeah, but I just kind of lay out everything to Petunia, and then when I'm kind of done speaking, I'll turn to Stigangola and go, Mikkel wanted you to take care of the child, and
Yes, of course.
we can help support you however is necessary.
And Gullah nods her head, and Stig just kind of holds his face. And Petunia is 4 to 5 years old.
She's too little for this.
She does not understand.
Can I make a perception check?
Go ahead.
Can I also make a perception check?
What are you looking for?
Just Katuni's reaction to everything.
That would be insight.
Oh,
then.
insight then.
Terrible. 4.
4.
22.
Yeah.
Sad child. You
Very
don't
sad
like
child.
children. You
Not
look away.
particularly.
If it was one lower, you wouldn't even know she's sad.
Well, she's taking this quite well.
Wait, it's not 22. No, I was wrong. It's 19.
19? Okay. She has this kind of like empty look on her face, and her eyes begin to like well up with tears. And you know that kids that age shouldn't and really don't understand death. But she does have a level of maturity to her, and where she understands that some things are, when they're gone forever.
But she's already lost her family once.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the second time?
She understands forever.
Oh. Yeah.
Can I, like, hold out my arms if she wants to
No,
hug?
you are like me, Catugne. You are twice orphaned.
She comes in and gives you a hug, and everyone's crying. Is anyone joining in on the crying?
No.
Silently.
So we're having a
Definitely
meeting.
crying.
Yeah. Rickard walks in. Everyone's crying.
Rickard's at a Skype call.
Do you want to sneak in so no one notices you left?
Sure.
Okay, roll stealth.
Okay.
He kicks in the door, Stonk style.
That's a nat 1.
So
He kicks in the door, Stonk style.
as Stonk is like telling his genuine stories, like, we're really sorry like about this, and we don't want to bring any more harm to Catugne, like, she deserves the best. And the door opens and the wind pours in, and Rickard is just like, oh, and everyone's trying to look at Rickard like, you just ruined it.
That's why Stonk rolled a
It's just
2.
the one suit from Community.
Yeah, that's why Stonk rolled a 2. You got distracted.
That's fair.
Did Rickard in this moment remember Catugne existed finally?
Probably as he was walking up to the door, like, oh yeah, we left the kid. Oh.
You look, you can see everyone's tears on their face, and you're like, oh shit. And Gunnar kind of like looks up, and she pats you. She can't reach your shoulder, but she like pats your bicep, and it's as big as a shoulder, so
Catch your thigh.
yeah. And she kind of like pats your bicep, and she goes, "You're all more than welcome to come visit whenever you need to. I'm sure she would." And she looks down to seeing like her with Tavi and Slanei. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Yeah, that's my cue. I'm leaving.
Okay.
So Stonk walks out and is quiet and walks off back to Gunnar's house.
All right. How you doing, Elrik? Just still? Are you after a couple hours go by? Or does anything change? Or are you just sleeping in the sheep pen?
He hasn't rested this whole goddamn time.
So you just conk out then?
He's asleep. He's sheep cuddling.
Okay.
He's pulling a Rickard.
Right.
All right.
He didn't mean to fall asleep, but the adrenaline wears out eventually, and he has that 1 HP.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right. Stonk, you make your way back to Gunnar's estate. Do you wish to see anyone, or are you guys just all resting for the evening?
No, I don't want to see anyone right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll rest. And before I forget, I'm going to see if I can't find like a little notepad book thing in Laris's room. It'll be a journal of all of his private thoughts.
We can take
And then I'm gonna swap the flower into that one, and then
You don't find a journal, I'll say, but you do find like a book that he had been reading.
Okay.
Is it about Star Wars?
It's probably that like history book that he was losing his mind about. Like, it was near his bed, and obviously he wasn't going to take it with him when he moved.
Yeah. Okay, I'll
So
take
use
that, and I'll use it, and yeah.
I'll name the book later, but
Yeah. It's something that, Stonk would never be caught dead reading, so... Pretty good sign.
What were the books that we had? The mating habits of...
God, Sims books.
I think we still have a couple of those.
I think that I'll say that you have like one or two, but I'll say you've lost like most of them
Thank
at this
God.
point.
Pretty sure we burnt one of
You
them.
did burn
We burnt the
boards
human-
and baubles of the human mating practices.
There it is.
There's a picture of Stonk burning.
We did burn that one.
Yep.
That was session 4 Stonk's I'm a sociopath moment.
Burnt
And then
all
we-
the books.
And then we realized that was probably for the best that one was burned.
Yeah. Now you guys understand.
I just realized my demon patron's a Jehovah's Witness.
No, he left church because he thought it was fucking weird.
Oh, so he's the reasonable one. Okay, he's the reasonable one, and he can't have children.
He's a Jehovah.
No,
he's
he's not. He's like.
He's a Jehovah's Witness who left to become a Satanist.
He's the Jehovah's Witness who, like, when they were, like, founding the religion, he was just like, nah, I'm gonna take this and, like me saying nah is reasonable, but I'm gonna go, like, the wrong way with it.
He became a Mormon.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Okay.
Dum 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 dum.
The night passes and you all take some time to rest. If there's anything you guys would like to role play, we can do that after Elrik returns. So, anything else you guys really, really need to do, though?
Nothing pressing.
I mean, can I talk about that crab?
I died as soon as I saw that crab.
Just
Crap.
you might have more support when Elric's in the room.
Also, no one's acknowledged the fact that, you learned that Stonk killed the king not
Yeah.
4 days
Yes, that
ago.
is-
Also, none of you had talked about the
So
fact.
wait, which one? Okay, so I remember one of them was, I think it was Stig, who was like, and Gullet, they're really old, so they're all super deaf.
Yeah.
So you guys can talk as long as you guys don't yell.
The lady's deaf. Grandpa can hear just fine.
Okay, so I'll say Grandpa. Oh yeah, Grandpa's there. Okay, so
Grandpa last time he was listening and pretending not to.
okay, so
Grandma just can't.
if that's the case, I'll just let you guys know. As long as you guys don't like look
Suspicious.
look suspicious, they're not listening. So until one of you guys like gets angry or raises your voice or that sort of thing, no one's
I
going to
can't believe you killed the king.
I can't fucking
Yes.
believe it.
Also, you
But
have
Stonk's not there.
Yeah.
He went back, so you guys can have the discussion amongst yourselves, but...
and
Because I didn't know, and then you knew, right?
Slanei knew all along.
you witnessed that fun me being murdered scene, but you haven't talked about it yet.
Elrik, you're asleep in the room, and eventually you wake to the sound of the stable door opening. And you see Iðunn looking down at you. Elrik?
Yes.
Are you ready to go back?
You're gonna be a good boy.
I nod.
Yay.
She holds out her hand.
I'd like to do a deception check to not have it shake.
Is that deception or performance?
19 plus stuff.
Oh boy.
Good.
Elrik, your 10 years of therapy have paid off. So you grab her hand, and as she does it, she like does like a light squeeze to it. Which, if any other person were to do this, the look she'd give you would be like, like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. But you know her.
I
There's a crack,
don't think I'm going to stay at Stick and Gullis, aren't I?
and you're back at Gunnar's estate in the barricaded room that is now empty. You kind of because you've been teleported around a lot today, so you're dizzy, and she.
Can I mark down long rest? Did I get a long
You did not
rest?
get a long rest, but you are about to, I promise. She gets up and looks kind of down at you. Who you're still weak, you're tired, you're exhausted, and she nods her head and says, "Elrik, I understand we put a lot of pressure on you, and I understand that it is difficult to deal with. But when you abandon your family, the responsibilities you neglect only weigh down on the rest of us."
I nod.
She smiles and walks away.
I would like to wander away from this building.
Takes 1 level in Barbarian.
Honestly, yeah.
Alright.
He wants to look for the party, but also he's at 1 HP. Also, there's a blizzard outside. Also, he doesn't know this town.
Stonk, do you ever end up leaving your room?
Do we just so happen to run each other in the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at some point I would like to return the journal to Couturier, but I don't know. If you would like to have a scene, I would be totally down.
Please get me out of here! Otherwise, I'm gonna go chill with the Archdruid and just never fucking see y'all again.
Gonna do some drugs with
I'd
Thyra.
be down to just run into Elrik at some point.
I'm gonna walk into you. He is on death's door.
You run into him.
You recognize the telltale signs of someone being murdered and brought back.
We're experts on the matter.
Unfortunately.
It's gonna happen again. It's gonna
Somehow he didn't get smashed into a puddle on the floor and brought back, but somehow he works worse than when he did do that.
Elrik, I must say, for someone who has, died several times in the past few days, you do not look well.
Jesus Christ.
When I bumped into you, I just hold on to you for stability, and he's just not letting go.
That's like a guy.
It's like, stop, get off.
He doesn't say anything. He's using you as support. He's about to fall over.
He's like the guy I delivered pizza to.
Alright.
Imagine that, but instead of a stroke, he had an emotional stroke.
Well, I'm not going to let you die now. No sense in it. And I'll bring him to Lars's room.
Oh no, we're having a sleepover at Lars's.
The Stonk Elrik sleepover.
I'm going to have Elrik lay down on the bed and go to sleep.
I pass out.
I'll just take the floor.
You wouldn't have fit in that bed anyway.
You wake up somehow, Little Spoon.
Right. So Stonk and Elrik have had a long day and go to sleep. You four, Slanei, Tiril, Tavi, and Rickard. What are you all doing? And most importantly, what are y'all talking about?
What type of juicy soup are you dropping?
You all have so much goddamn tea.
Of all places, for Rickard to be banished.
Elrik.
Not yeah, you're right. I said Rickard.
I do that too. High five. Even the players are doing it.
All places for Elrik to be banished.
Fucking Beruvik.
Beruvik. Here.
Are you,
Comedy gold.
are you just talking to the air, or are you talking to someone in particular?
I'm just talking to the air, and if somebody chimes in, so be it.
Are you okay, Rickard?
Now I've got to talk to the guy. I shot arrows at him. You shot him in the face with the banishing bolt.
Do you think
We
he's
have-
gonna want to talk to us?
I think it was Slanei that shot.
I certainly hope I never have to say another word to that man. But that is wishful thinking.
Are we watching Rickard go through all of the stages of grief right now?
He's going through stages of grief. Like, that a man is alive.
Well, last you saw him, I wasn't.
True.
If it makes you feeling better, I'm not having a good time.
Did anybody else know that Stonk was the one that killed the king?
That was news to me.
Steak. And it keeps leatherworking.
I'm too tired to be surprised.
Did Slanei make a reaction to that?
I'm not surprised.
Yes, Slanei.
Yeah.
Slanei?
Are you trying to hide the fact
I
that you knew?
am slightly trying to hide the fact that I knew.
My
That'd be a
insight's not
deception.
great.
Oh god.
Oh, terrible.
My
See it. Let's see it.
can't
Let's
be
see
worse
it.
than
Let's see it.
I'll.
Nat 2. Nat
12.
2.
12.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is another 3.
Don't forget.
Oh, you have disadvantage.
I used the stone earlier. Okay.
I have
7.
only rolled 3s.
Yes.
So you two knew that Slanei knew.
So then you look over and you're just like, why is Slane's being awfully quiet about this? And you look at his face, you're like, oh, that fucker knew. That fucker knew.
This dice is going to dice shell. It rolled 3 3s in a row.
God damn.
It's a timeout.
There are old people behind us. I'm not going to say anything. I am mad. How many,
Feel free,
how many
I can't
trust
hear.
points
I
do
still
you
also
have?
just hate the Abnortius.
No, that is...
You would have killed the king
Unfortunately-
if you had been there.
Only one of us is pro-Abnordian here.
I like being acknowledged.
Yeah.
Where's Slanei? Ooh, that's too
Everyone's like, yeah, fuck the government. Fuck the government. Everyone is like, oh yeah, fuck the government. Toppy's like, I want to be a cop.
hot. Not anymore.
I'm Harry Potter and I want to be a wizard cop.
All cops are heroes. That's Toffee's slogan.
God.
He's done. He's past that
I-
phase.
I
now.
may be Abnordian, but I am pro record, not pro Abnordian.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Also, to mention, I think the earthquakes were the snake.
Okay. It's good to know.
Just a theory.
So good to know is a strong term for snake earthquakes.
Does that mean that Ingvald's the next god to die, possibly?
Well, the snake's certainly going to want to kill him.
Yeah. I think the snake wants to kill everyone, though.
Mostly the gods.
When does Gullah stop leather working at this point?
Stig.
Stig is Gullah.
Stig,
Working.
sorry.
Gullah is like knitting things.
Oh,
and-
sorry. Stig, sorry.
It's Stick no
It's-
longer pretending.
Yeah, he is like stopped, and he's like just kind of like.
We're talking about
Holy-
book. It's a big club. Big club.
He's like,
He hasn't said anything.
he's
though.
like, thank God I'm old, so I don't have to deal with this shit.
I'm a dad. Ugh.
If you get old, you just stop giving a shit.
I think they've hit that age.
Definitely.
It'll be okay, Rickard.
Yeah, comfort Rickard. He's the one who needs comforting.
What else do you need to be caught up on?
I mean, you also have to catch a head. What are you doing now?
We have jobs to do, because apparently we're mayors, you know?
Oh, gods.
Yeah, fun. Maybe bump into that terrible family again.
Oh boy, I can't wait. It's gonna be such a joy. Tavi, I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
I'm not going to humor that with a response.
It's the perfect time for a response.
No.
Could have told
Really
him the
give it
bathhouse,
to him.
that way we
No,
stay
he
at
just
the
gives him like
bathhouse.
a real, like, I don't even know. I don't know. Just squints at him.
You're forgiven, Slanei.
Yeah.
That's what it could only mean.
I didn't hear a no.
It's a look that's like, I get why you didn't tell me, but also fuck you.
Understandable.
I'm pretty sure he knew that like soon after you saved Stonk and
Yeah.
then left him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
Oh no! I'm
Slanei
pretty
knew
sure
almost as
Slanei-
soon as we left the town.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Did you?
Secrets in the dark. Yep.
Yeah. I knew almost as soon, like the session after you killed the king, I knew.
Well, the second you met up, you're like, Stonk, what happened? Oh, the king died. Oh, insight check, you knew.
Oh, he killed the king. Oh, what a rascal.
Yeah.
What a silly little boy.
What a silly little
To be
guy.
fair, Toffee was dying at the time, I think. Or something.
think
Someone was
Slanei
dying.
was dying.
Slanei was dying at the time.
That was
But Slanei's always dying.
Yeah.
That's true.
Any other
Oh,
deep
well,
conversation?
how's Loki?
As you guys run in the door, Loki is just like, hi there, because Loki loves everybody.
Yeah.
So Loki actually brings Tavi the elk bone that you guys gave him. And he's like, you want to play fetch? She gets really excited, and that tail like just starts kind of wiggling because it's not one of those long like dog tails. It's like one of those curled spitz tails, so it's just like waving like so happily.
Yeah, for the sake of not having to look at Slanei for the next hour, I'll go play.
You go play with Loki outside in this. You go play outside in the snow, and Loki is just like running like through all of the like the mazes that people have like dug out, and then every once in a while you like throw it, and then you see like from the snow, boing, and then it goes back into the snow. Loki doesn't know the world's ending.
We don't deserve dogs.
We don't. Are you guys gonna keep Loki around, or is that gonna stay with Petunia, you think?
I think Loki's like an official emotional support animal right now.
Yeah. We keep the dog. We just did it because we were going to a death tournament.
We said that about Petunia, too.
You know what, Lauren? I have a nanny that would be great at raising another child.
Stig stands and clears his throat and like pushes his hair back and grabs a coat and goes outside.
And what'd you guys say?
What'd you do to Stick?
He's gonna go tattle on
I
us.
would like to cast Pass Without a Trace and follow him.
Okay. He's walking over. He's walking. Oh, he doesn't fucking see you. He doesn't.
Wait 1 second.
And he goes to the bar and he buys a drink.
7, 11, 21.
Can I like subtly watch him while still playing with Loki?
You notice him walk towards like the center of the town.
I'm following behind him.
Okay.
I'll be real, I want to play with the dog too.
Yeah. Are you gonna?
Do you want to
You
come with
see
me, Tiril?
Slanei.
I'm not very sneaky
Okay.
though.
You see Slanei disappear. Like, you're the only one who notices that I'll say you and Tiril notice that he casts a spell and he leaves. Tavi doesn't notice shit. Like, but you do actually notice Loki that, like, in the middle of playing, like, Loki's ear just, like, kind of pokes up and just, like, watches some, like, tracks in the snow walk by and kind of goes, oof. And you're just like, silly Loki, silly bugs.
He has a squirrel moment. Like,
Yeah. And you're like, silly Loki, the elkhorn's right there, and then immediately distracted.
You found the beetle in 8 feet snow.
Yeah.
I'm weaseling and following Slanei. You're gonna hide me in the jacket. Yeah, I was
All right.
Like a little faux scarf.
Yeah.
I'll say that, Slanei, you like start the trek out there, and then like you hear a little like squee squee as Tiril's there,
Squee.
and you're obviously like, oh yeah, Tiril wants to join.
okay.
Puts Tiril in the pocket.
Nice. It's probably warm.
Oh,
A little scarf. Yeah.
You fall. I'll say you don't have to roll stealth, and you can just go off of his
Yeah, I
22.
can just deception play dead. It's almost
Yeah. So you
Would you like to roll deception?
you follow,
only if he gets caught, and then
You-
I'm a dead.
you
Sorry.
follow Stig to Gunnar's estate, and he walks forward where there are 2 guards and knocks on the door.
Hi.
The door opens, and he's let in, and the door shuts behind him.
You have a weasel.
Can you cast Beast Sense on a druid? I know you don't have it.
Technically,
I
you
have it.
have the stat blocks of a beast, so technically they are a beast.
Can I use
I'm making sure Loki's getting plenty of
the
squishes.
shadows to go invisible
Under the
to
chin
literally
scratches
be
or-
Under
right
the
behind
chin
me to
scratches
sneak
and
into the
behind the
door.
ears.
That's 6 seconds. You
Yes.
have 6 seconds to do that.
Yes.
I'm going to have to ask you to make a dexterity check.
That's perfectly fine.
He can go. He can walk under Gunnar because he's a halfling.
Wouldn't be sleight of hand. Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You have to do disadvantage too.
Nope.
Nope. 3 times.
Oh.
2 times.
2 times.
That's only a 7. I'm not making it in, Chief.
As they let Stig in, they follow afterwards and shut the door, and you just right into the door, and they kind of like open it. They're like,
The fuck was that?
huh, and you're just lying like they're like deep in the snow, and they're like,
Luckily, they only check it for 5.5 seconds.
and then
Let's
they
say you're going checking on Stonk or something.
Well,
That
I
is
mean,
true.
you're locked out.
I got to knock on the door to actually do this now, so I'll knock on the door. I'll wait like 30 seconds and then knock on the door so it doesn't seem like I ran into it.
One of the cards opens it. What do you want?
Stonk and I were supposed to meet up.
Deception?
Yeah, deception.
Meet Stonk for a hot date.
Steam.
Hey,
Hey, you rolled better.
16.
Mocha.
It looks over to you.
Just
Oh, yeah. You're one of Ingvald's champions.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they open up the door and let you
Yes, we are involved. Champions.
Okay, and they let you in.
Do you go and check on Stonk?
I do to not appear as though I'm lying.
You start walking, like, towards, where you think Lars' room is, and then you, like, make a U-turn towards Gunnar's office.
Yes.
Can you re-roll yourself?
Yes, absolutely.
I believe you still get plus.
I still have my plus 10. Oh, God, it's still a 21.
Hi,
It's the
Mocha.
exact same roll. I'm waiting for Mocha to bat the flashing dice.
She wants the other
Mocha doesn't
mitts.
really bat that often.
Guidance, right?
She does
Oh,
sometimes. You were doing it earlier.
Yeah, whenever you need, I can do guidance also.
Oh! You can't cast spells when you're
A
No,
weasel.
I can't. Never mind.
I have to be higher level for
You
that.
have to be like level 18.
18. You can.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But at level 18, moon druids are almost unkillable.
Alright. So you make your way over to Gunner's office, and are you just, like, pressing your ear up against the door? Or
Yeah.
Okay, make a perception check. And are you doing it as well?
Perception?
Perception check to hear what's going on?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. You have to use, I think,
Weasel
stats.
sense.
Nope.
stats. No?
It's still a
It's a
mental
wisdom.
check.
Yeah.
You gotta
yep,
keep
you're
your
right.
mental stuff.
You're right.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Is that investigation? Sorry.
Perception?
Oh, well, I'm good at perception. 9.
9 plus.
That's a not 1, actually.
So you hear...
Too good at playing dead.
Yeah, I'm too
Like-
easily.
Like, you're just looking up
You
at Slanei, who's, like, hearing everything. You're like, what is it?
You perfectly hear Slanei's heartbeat.
Too loud.
And you hear the arrhythmia of his heart.
His heartbeat's like,
You hear Gunnar. It's like, Stiga, how can I help you? I have, I just want to make sure you know exactly who we are housing. And then Gunnar kind of looks down. He's like, what do you mean? I overheard talks of treason, killing the king, perhaps? The Jarl? And Gunnar pipes up and says, oh. Yes, I know. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean you know? My son fought for the king. What do you think? And he goes, and he holds his hand. They are good people. They are...
We're great.
And you hear him say they're good
Did you
people,
guys
and
go
he
to
stops. He stops.
Eh.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Regardless of what they have done, they are an asset to Beruvik. Maybe not the Abnordian Empire, but for here, they used a wish. They fought in Ingvald's tournament to save this town.
Most of them. Well, one of them did.
One.
In fact, the only one who committed treason did that.
Stig, you must. Stig, you must be quiet about this. You knew this whole time? I saw it.
I didn't know that.
I did.
Of course you did.
I was there.
Well, in the session, Gunnar was in the same, like, seating area as, like, where all the nobles were, and so he saw Stonk do it.
And I just rolled a high insight when we first met him when he saw Stonk.
it's like, oh shit, he knows.
How many secrets do you keep?
A lot.
Most.
I understand if
Yes.
this makes you uncomfortable. I'm sure I can find them housing somewhere else, but please, for the good of Beruvik, for you and your wife and your children, please, be quiet about this. You don't hear anything, and the door opens.
And you're right.
Invisible.
In front of it. How many times?
Channel divinity.
You were already stealthy.
Okay.
You're,
Okay, never mind then.
You're
I was
not
gonna say,
stupid.
if you
You're
went
not
invisible, it's just the
Okay.
Just the
But-
weasel.
I'm playing
Yeah,
dead.
you're up against the wall.
Okay.
The door opens, and you see Stig storm out.
Uh-oh,
Can I roll an
Grandpa.
insight?
We're not getting any new mittens.
Grandpa's racist.
What?
No, Grandpa's a war criminal.
Definitely.
Grandpa's gonna
Oh my
murder
God,
the
that's a
people sleeping in his
27.
barn.
With a nat 20.
Stig is a good person. However, lawful good people.
Have a tendency to not be able to keep their mouths shut.
Lawful good equals lawful stupid.
He's lawful good in the sense where he is debating on whether or not everyone else deserves to know.
Don't give him a reason. That's on you guys. Don't give him a reason.
To be fair, he also knows... Oh, did you know that? No, I didn't know that, did you? So to be fair, only one, if he was paying attention, he's the only traitor there and him.
Well, he knows that Gunnar knew.
Oh, Gunnar's gonna be overthrown. Mayor Tavi.
Get some place of power
Mayor
then.
Stonk.
Mayor Rickard.
They're gonna overthrow Gunnar and replace him with the person who killed the king.
The seeds have been planted.
The seeds have been
Seeds of revolution.
I established Gunnar as a shitty chieftain, and he's getting overthrown in the Fimbulvinter.
Fimbulvinter.
That's what happens when you're not competent.
Yeah.
I would just like to look at the weasel. Realize I can't talk to the weasel.
I mean, you can,
You
they
can
just
talk
can't
to
talk
me, I
back.
understand.
You can't talk back.
No. Two screens.
Then it reveals,
No,
speaking
yeah.
reveals. So where do you go?
Do you go visit Stonk?
Do you talk to Gunnar? He's right there in his office.
I feel like that's a bad idea to just be like, hey, Gunnar.
Hey, Gunnar, I just spied on that conversation, and I think you should keep an eye on Stick.
I think we should deal
We
with
can
him
kill that
before
guy
we
for
get
you.
the
Honestly,
word get out.
that is a Slanei move.
He's just like, I called you good people.
I
Let's just-
called you a
let's just
good
remove
person
him from the
while
equation.
you're listening to this conversation.
What?
Just saying he's old, we can make it look like
I
an accident.
I'd like to go find that guard that let me in.
Mm-hmm.
And like, hey, I've been wandering around. I actually don't know which room he's in.
Follow me. And then he leads you he leads you to Lars's room.
Okay. I knock on the door before coming in.
So Elrik at this time has passed out. You were trying to fall asleep on the floor. You were very mad because that bed at Ingvold's place was really fucking nice, and now you're back to sleeping on floors. It's cold, and life sucks.
Yeah. Man, this is awful.
I passed out before I put the blanket on, so if you want to steal the blanket, you can. It is Lars
You can tuck
sized.
him in.
No. Alright, I'll go answer the door. I'm not getting any sleep right now. Slanei?
Hi, Stonk. Can I come in? Thank you. And I'm just gonna walk in.
I didn't... Well, this is going to be interesting. What do you want, Slanei?
Can you close the door real fast?
Sure.
Is Elric snoring?
I am sleep sobbing.
Elrik is sleeping like this.
It's the post cry sniffles.
Yeah.
We don't have time for that.
No, please. I wasn't
You
getting
just see
to
him and you're
sleep
just like, oh,
anytime
good,
soon.
he's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
He looks exactly 1 HP.
He'll be fine.
He
We'll
lives
sleep it
at
off.
1/30th alive.
I can slap
One-
his now.
1/60th.
If I be a woman again,
him.
it would be
He just-
suspicious if I walk out of this place as
Yeah,
a
you
woman.
can become a weasel again. Though you have another.
No,
Yeah.
you've already used your other
You're
one.
also already one
You
of,
went
like,
there earlier,
Ingvald's
this is
champions,
reasonable,
so, like,
so you're
unless
out.
the guard who let you in sees you, you could just gaslight him. I was there the whole time.
I just never left.
You never left.
Yeah, sure.
Is it because I'm a woman that you didn't even see me?
You played
Wow,
the
that's
woman
kind of
card.
racist. Just because I'm wearing all white, have white hair, white skin, and white eyes doesn't mean that I don't exist when it's snowing.
Come on, you're telling me you couldn't see me in this snowbank?
Yeah.
You opened the door, I knocked, you didn't see me, I walked right past you. Remember?
I just want to stop playing dead and just.
Do you go back to woman?
Yeah.
You just see this white weasel fall out of Slanei's pocket. Turns into Tiril.
I didn't hear any of that conversation. You're gonna have to.
Oh, great. It's here too. Well, we have everyone. Where's Tavi? Where's Rickard? Why can't we get them in here?
They didn't come along. Tavi was too busy playing with.
It was sarcasm.
Man, I bet Loki's doing a great job playing fetch right now with us.
Loki
We were
is-
having like a very wholesome time,
Slanei, not Slanei, fuck.
Is
Tavi
Loki
and
high
Rick are
key
We
one?
talked
bonding
to
right
him
now.
about the demon thing, but you are playing with the dog right now, so if after this you guys want to have a talk,
mean,
We could just
I mean,
talk
Tavi, you're alone with Rick.
yeah, we'll do that after
No,
this.
because I still need Elrik to back me up.
You can start the conversation, and Elrik can
You
join
could do
us
some
tomorrow.
detective
I
work.
saw a glimpse of a crustacean before I saw the light of God and died.
Maybe that was God.
God is a crab!
When you die, you see Crab. He comes for you.
Big old Chris Kringle.
So Stig knows
Our Lord and Savior, Crab.
Knows what?
that you killed the king. That
Oh.
Gunnar knows that you killed the king.
Oh.
And I don't think he's gonna keep quiet about it.
Oh.
Am I missing anything important?
Gunnar knows?
Yeah, Gunnar saw.
And, okay.
He's there.
He was there, honey.
He was.
Gunnar was a victim.
I mean, I'll Stonk will be like, he was there. He saw it. Do you have something to add?
No.
Because as much as you want to, you fucking hate the king.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dick move, but I
Like-
would have done it.
I wish you hadn't kept it from me for so long, but also
You can
would
be...
have done the same thing.
Yeah, and it's also just like a
Baffling.
perpetuation of the amount of secrets you guys had been held, and I feel
Well,
like there was no reason for that secret at that point.
At the same time, you can be like, why? And still agree. Like, sure, I'm glad he's dead, but why?
Yeah, what then did?
Yeah.
Well. So you think Stig's not going to keep quiet about it? What are you planning on doing about it?
Telling you?
Great solution.
the choice of indescribable violence.
Slanei, are you asking me to kill Stig?
No.
Truly. What the fuck?
Would you
Where did
like
we
to
get to
roll
that
something
point?
for that? Or are you being honest when you say no?
I'm genuinely Slanei is being honest. He's wanting to tell as many people as possible, and he knew you were here.
Okay. Well,
Oh no!
Are you gonna tell him? And I point to sleeping Elrik.
I'll deal with him later. Here's the thing. I'm not going to kill Stig.
Great.
You do whatever you want if you think it's that big of a deal.
You killed.
I killed a major political figure. Sure, fuck it if anyone knows.
Might
I
as well.
wanted everyone to know in the first place.
I bragged.
Yeah.
Fucking everyone might as well know at this point.
Yeah.
Call me Stonk King Killer. It sounds cool.
Gunnar, about to be overthrown in the same room as a king killer.
Yeah, it's a little fishy.
Can you just talk to him? Diplomacy in this
In this murder hobo party?
To be fair, diplomacy historically has not worked well for us.
Remember when you gave out like a fifth of all the cattle for diplomacy?
You let the nomad decide who gets the cattle.
I like how this party usually like tries diplomacy first and then fucks up and then murder hobos immediately. Next option, and we're good at murder hobos.
It's like, okay, let's tell Stig what's going on. Hey Stig, I heard what's going on. He's just like, that's terrible. She's like, yeah, we know it's terrible, but if you tell anyone, we're gonna fucking kill you. He's like, I'm gonna tell the whole city, and then we're gonna be like, well, we tried.
We tried diplomacy. It didn't work.
It's the effort that counts.
Yeah, that's good. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell him something. Doesn't need to be true.
Do you have anything else to tell me?
Oh, Tavi also knows you killed the king.
Yeah, I was there yesterday.
He
Yeah,
told everyone.
he's still very upset.
Well,
Upset.
Tavi and
If Tavi's
Elrik
upset, they
to
can
be
talk
bitchy
me.
together.
Okay. I don't have anything else.
There's nothing else. I would like to sleep now. So, please, leave. And I open the door, and I beckon
I'm just
both
gonna
of
leave.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't need to say enough.
Stonk tells you to leave, you leave.
Now, alright, now that they're gone, I'm going to close the door and go back to bed.
Okay, Rickard and Tavi, you're playing fetch with the dog.
Wow.
The dog hasn't had many people to play fetch with in the past couple months because Stig and Gullet are old in Catugnier's form.
Catunia plays fetch, but she throws it like 3 feet.
Yeah, and they like play wrestle together. They're like the same size, so they have like a good time. But this is a runner. This is a working dog.
4-year-old Katuya stands up on a table.
Dude, what are you doing?
I got something stuck in there and I'm trying to get it
I
out.
was about to be like, are you using the cat nail clipper?
To cut your nails.
No, I was trying to like see if that was like small enough for me to just fish it out,
Oh yeah,
and it was not.
I have tweezers in the bathroom.
I will use those in a bit, but first roleplay time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Start this.
It's like Loki as you like throw the elkhorn, like Loki like leaps up into the air and like there's like a freeze frame, and falls back in the snow.
She's so majestic. Rickard, I saw something really weird at the tournament.
Well, a lot of weird things happen in the tournament,
Yeah, but
like a god slaughtering people en masse.
that's pretty normal for giants, as far as I'm aware. It's like a big crab.
Oh, Karkanos.
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 Kark.
It has a name.
Indeed. At least that's what I was told its name was.
You were told its name by who?
The Baylor.
Have you
My
ever
employer.
heard about that?
Yeah, do I know what Baylor is? I don't think I've had any context to Baylor this entire...
Nope.
Okay, cool. Okay.
The Baylor Lake. That's about it.
Man, I just assumed that.
I think you heard that my last name's Beeler. I think
Yeah.
we heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People have weird last names all the time.
I could have sworn Tavi.
No, because Tavi was gone when you guys had the confrontations all together.
It's not so much that this party keeps secrets, it's that we just don't know who knows what anymore.
Yeah. So I'll say Tavi, you know of the Baylor, but you did not know who or what their thing is.
Like nothing about them. Just it's a name that's passed around a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Voldemort. He
works
will
for the
not be
boogeyman.
named.
Gotcha.
So it was your creature?
It was my doing. I did give it the task of attacking Ingvald, but it did have some free will in the matter.
Free will.
What's that?
What was it exactly?
Hard to say. It appeared to be crustacean in shape. I'm not exactly sure its exact origins, but it was something given to me from the Baylor.
I don't want to roll insight because Tavi's insight is so shit.
You just don't want to feel bad?
Yeah.
Just roll it. Come on.
Be brave. Be brave, Tavi. I think that's good.
I think that was a 13, yeah. The
Yeah.
12.
If you had to guess, Rickard's dodging the question by being technical. If I'm assuming right.
So it just was a giant crab that you created to attack Ingvald?
Essentially.
But you don't know exactly what it is.
Essentially.
This is what happens when you talk to Rickard.
It's just like, hey, Rickard, did you come? I'm here to interrogate you about a crime you committed. Yeah, I did it. Oh.
He never lies, but does he tell the truth?
Well, I heard you stabbed the man. No, I shot him.
No,
But
he was impaled.
He's dead by your hand, essentially.
I heard he got shot in the heart. No, his heart just got punctured. Crazy how that happens.
I heard you choked him to death. No, he just stopped breathing. Oh, no, I heard you choked him to death. I mean, after he stopped breathing, yeah. Okay, continue. Or is that it?
You could ask about the Baylor. You don't know shit about him.
I guess
Ask if it's hegemonic as well.
maybe.
I feel like hey, you're dodging the question. Please answer. But if Tommy knows that he's dodging the question,
It feels like he's dodging the question.
so then confront him about it.
Yeah, okay.
You can do that.
Why are you dodging the question?
How am I dodging the question? I don't know the whole story. I was given this, and I pull out this fossilized bone. It's not really bone because crab,
Yeah.
but fossilized chitin.
Fossilized shell?
Yeah, I was given this by the Baylor, and was instructed to give it a human or some sort of body, blood, and it would create that. I wasn't even sure what it was until it all the way formed.
Does this sound like... This doesn't seem like good magic.
Yes,
This
very
seems like bad
Yes,
magic.
you know he's associated with demons.
Yummy.
You also saw him bring a thrall up as well.
Yeah.
Like the shadow, the guy he brought
The
back
puppet.
to life.
The thing he almost killed you with before
It was a little
retconned it.
overshadowed by a giant crab.
The thing he tortured his other friend to death with.
Listen, I don't like getting shot.
Wow. Okay, who's the Baylor?
So that is a very, very difficult question to answer.
Rickard,
But
if you keep talking,
I'm
then I will
not-
punch you.
It is essentially Elric's great something grandfather.
Related
And-
to those people? And he, like, kind of nods towards the direction of Bane Hall.
Apparently. It's the first time I met them. As soon as I found out Elric was related, I felt a little cheated. But he is essentially my employer, my boss, and I am doing what he tells me, and in exchange, gives me power.
So your employer instructs you to do demon magic.
He doesn't instruct me to do demon magic. He gives me magic.
You can,
I don't worship him if that's what you're asking.
Rickard, you would know through your studies that there are multiple, types of magic. Demon magic is under, something called essence magic, which is, magic that, comes from, your soul or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you can argue, it's not demon magic, it's
Yeah.
essence magic. It's the same type of magic dragons use, too.
Common misconception.
Common misconception.
I'm just using magic of demons.
Both are very taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does Tommy know the difference?
Essence magic scares the shit out of people because it's all up to whoever. If a person's evil and they have access to essence magic, they're gonna do bad things with it. You know.
Yeah.
And if they're a good person with passes magic, you don't hear about them.
What kind of power does the Baylor give you in exchange for working for him?
He doesn't offer me power in the form of runes, in the form of divine intervention. He shows me how to harness my own power. To harness my own essence.
I'm a sorcerer from my soul. It's from the heart.
From the heart, bro.
Yeah.
I've been playing that soul music all along.
Let's all get together, bro.
Wait.
He just starts
Some of my
listening to reggae.
I need to love myself as well.
So
The Baylor is just like a spirit guru.
There are a lot of like mini sects that like so essence magic is like a bunch of like different smaller types of magic, one of which that the demons are mostly associated with are like psychic magics and then blood magics. Psychic magics like fucks with you like your brain and like what you're thinking. That's like detect thoughts, you know, like telepathy, that sort of thing. Blood magic is like, you know, fucking with like your body and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's more up demons alley.
Man, just out of character, that's all my favorite kinds of magic all
There you
rolled up
go.
in the one area. That's
Wow.
great. Fucking let's go.
Yeah, just to clarify it, because the Vikings believe there to be, like, 4 different, like, selves, I guess. There's the Gunnar, which is, like, the skin. That's what is affected by blood magic. And then Hunir or something like that, I think, for like, the Gunnar or something for the brain, or which is basically, like, your mind.
Gotcha.
And then there's also, like, your spirituality and your luck, and then there's, like, you know, a spirit animal associated with you. So, yeah, it's basically blood magic affects the body, psychic magic affects the mind.
Cool, fun.
You were asking about who the Baylor was.
Right. And I got employer.
You got essence.
I got S.
You got employer, also great grandpa.
Someone gives you that much power.
You can ask if
Sorry,
he's...
I'm being the little.
I know, because I cannot think on my own. I'm just a little blue brain, bro.
Employers usually employ someone for something.
Yeah, perfect. And so what? So you work for him for power. What does he gain from it?
Frankly, I don't know what his whole plan is. I had only assisted Stonk to make it all the way to the end of Ingvald's tournament, and I can only assume the Baylor got what he wanted from that point. Beyond that, I'm not sure.
Are you planning to keep summoning those things?
Probably. It'll be great help during the future siege.
Can you destroy them after they're created?
Yeah. It's not very difficult.
Can you promise me something?
Depends.
Just make sure they don't get out of hand.
Consider it done. Wasn't planning on letting them get out of hand to begin with.
Until it fails a charisma save.
Well, that's what the arrows are for.
The only reason we didn't have to kill the crab is because Ingvald killed the crab.
I thought you killed the crabs.
Yeah, you blasted everyone.
Someone killed the crab.
Because Elrik did his glass cannon thing and then died.
You don't want one of those things going out of control.
Alright. Unless there's anything anyone else wants to do, morning comes.
Long rest.
Long rest!
Thank God. I was at 1 HP. I've died like 6 times.
Gotta add another
got a
point
record.
to Elric's death counter.
Where am I at? 3? 4? I think I'm at 3.
You are now at 2.
2?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not including the Kells then.
To be fair, I didn't die at a tournament. I just nearly died.
Yeah.
Characters.
You know,
I wanted
I'm-
to ask.
I'm not.
I've gone to 0 a lot.
I hate that
never
I
I
gave,
want to interrogate records.
I hate that I gave Tom such high charisma because I don't have high charisma. I don't know how to fake that.
You can just say what you want to say, though.
I'm bad at saying
The-
things.
The essence of what you want to talk about.
To see it.
Just say what you are asking for.
Wow, you did it.
Wow. See, that wasn't that hard.
Now that I'm not dying, I can do things.
Okay.
We should probably have a conversation. Hey, Elrik.
Yeah, you two wake up in the morning. You want to have a convo?
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm doing a little better. I'm not doing great. I'm really not doing great. I'm at the point where you're doing just well enough to know you're not doing great.
Yo, Elrik, having family problems? I feel you, bro.
Stonk will wake up at some point and
Family problems? Can't relate. Don't
be
have
like,
one.
should probably talk about it, shouldn't we?
We should. Let's get something to eat.
Are you sure you want to risk running into other people during this conversation? This is privacy right now.
Yeah.
You step out the door.
I pull out rations.
Okay, that's a smart choice.
Blood-stained ration. Mmm.
Iron, I needed that.
To replace all the other blood iron I lost.
You could start making your tea in the fireplace.
Yeah, I'm gonna make tea because I need it.
You
Wow.
still feel internally bruised.
He is present. He's real fucked up. He's probably gonna be lost in thought. He wants to talk to you, but you're gonna have to lead this charge.
Yes, yeah. Well, you have to understand, there was not really anything personal about it. Unless there was something personal between you and Rickard. I can't speak for him,
I just kind of gave you a look.
but for myself, you were the outsider. You showed up out of the blue. I may not fully trust all of them, but at least I've been with them for a long time now.
Elrik, you can't help but have that nag in the back of your head of when he calls you an outsider. You know, you've always felt like one.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for being my depression.
That's my job.
Can't feel too good about this.
It's hard not to take your death as anything other than personal, Stonk, but
To be fair, it seems you didn't die.
I just...
Slanei said something about a banishment arrow.
Oh, I was sent, bloodied, bleeding out into the wilderness. I was lost in the snow. I built myself a shelter. And when I woke up, I was at this town's druid. I do not know when I was in the snow. She did not seem to have rescued me. I do not know how I got from there to here. I don't even know what there is.
Well, somehow you lived, even though we did watch that woman kill you. Which reminds me, would you care to fill me in on what is going on with them?
The matriarch of my family, Iðunn. She is my grandfather.
Grandma, stop it.
Grandmother.
We're not elaborating.
There is a pause before he says grandmother.
Whoa.
Alright. See.
My family. You were there when we talked of the Baelors. When our patriarch, he had gone, and I vaguely gesture and just the concept of Rickard.
Mm-hmm.
When he had left the family, we were in disgrace. And we were prominent followers of Ingvald at the time. And he took offense, pity, amusement, all three on us. And he saved us, punished us. It depends on the time of how sorry we're feeling at the time. And he put us in the tower. And there we've been for the last 1,000 years.
Huh.
Alone.
Well,
It wasn't exactly a good place to grow up. So I left. She was not pleased.
when you say you lived there for 1,000 years, you mean that...
My family. We're not immortals. Most of us.
Yeah, there is one, but we're not talking about it.
He shudders.
We got the one, huh?
Grampy. We don't talk about Grampy.
Well, Gunnar has tasked me, with watching your family and ensuring they don't act out.
My wish was for this endless cycle of them being in this tower to be over.
Well, I would say you got your wish.
That we did.
Starts crying.
This is worse somehow.
Honestly, he's past the point of crying. He looks
nothing.
He's reached the under apathy sad.
Despondent stage.
Yeah.
He and Gunnar are just not doing too hot.
Well,
So what is this place? Why are we here?
this is Beruvik. We stayed here for a while before we went to the tournament. We made a promise to help them. I don't know if you noticed, but the Avnordian Empire is not in the most stable place right now.
To be honest, I don't know much about the Avnordians.
Well, I killed their king, and now we're attempting to make a grab for power.
What? Oh, okay. You just walk up to a random, hey, I murdered the monarch, and now we're in Anarchy. Want to help out? I'm like, okay.
I got nothing else better to do.
Sure.
Might as well.
Hilda, Eskil daughter, and
Rickard's cousin.
the rest of her bastard family plan to take over this town soon.
I take it they are not the kind to be under new management when they arrive.
No, we very much expect them to purge everything by the fire and sword. So, I don't know what your obligation is with your family, but I have seen your ability. You would be of use to these people.
It's not as though I can leave.
I mean, you could, but you probably would not survive.
So, as I understand it, I wished for my family to leave, and Ingvald asked you where to go and he said come here, or...
What's the question? Sorry.
So, he wished for his family to go, and then you went up to Ingvald and said, hey, I want to go to Beruvik, and now we're all here? He's trying to figure out
why
we're here.
why we're here, why they're here, why everyone's here.
Well, from what Ingvald said after you were banished, well, it seems like he ended up granting your wish as part of other people's wishes, mine particularly. He views your family as an asset.
What was your wish?
To help this town. No one else was going to wish for it.
You saw my skills, Stonk. I left my family, and stopped learning from them. At 15.
How old are you
25.
now?
I've not exactly perfected my craft since then. I haven't grown that much. My skills are not much compared to theirs. You're talking to Loris, and then his Gunnar shows up in his prime. So yes, they can help. To be honest, I don't think they've ever actually gone all out. Sounds like they will.
But
Regardless of your questions
Pause.
of personal worth, can I finish this
yeah,
before?
go ahead.
Regardless of your questions of personal worth, any assistance, especially those of the magical variety, is more beneficial. You may not be a fighter, Elrik, but there are things you can do that do not involve fighting here.
I will do what I can.
And you won't kill Rickard on sight.
A vein pulses. That can wait.
That's all I ask.
Elrik, you have an epiphany
Uh-huh.
for a second and realize
What's my depression say?
you believed your family to be trapped there. Iðunn casted teleport.
It's quite a lot of questions. Like, were they ever really trapped there?
We're moving on, Lord. Yeah, it's like we were talking like our character. We were talking like, oh, they'll get kicked out and they can't get back. Okay.
Alright. Well, I'm done talking, so I want to go get food.
Food?
Food.
Food.
We go get food.
Alright. You two get up and kind of... Are you going to eat at the mansion, or are you going to go out to the Bray Bar?
He doesn't mention his.
You're leading the way. I don't know this town. Are
We're
you
going to
going?
the Bray Bar.
Okay.
We're gonna rob Gula's pantry.
Yeah. Oh, spell list. That's a good point.
Yeah, I need
if you're a spellcaster, prepare your spell list.
Yep.
My
What
list.
the
You
fuck's
might need to
preparing a
use it.
spell list?
My list is always the same.
Rickard's cuddling with sheep.
Yep.
Unprepared mass. Don't think
Yeah,
I'm-
Rickard has a soft spot for animals, I'm gonna be real.
Rickard's gonna multi
What?
into ranger,
They're not. He doesn't have to worry about them, like,
betraying him.
betraying him and just plotting.
Okay.
Lauren, whatever
Yes.
happened to Kuma?
Kuma, your horse, you probably woke up, or at
Bear
least
the
before you went to
horse.
sleep. He was in the stables.
Okay.
He probably actually was in Gunnar's stables.
A horse with a broken leg.
I'm gonna
Bear
take this.
You give him a hug.
I'm gonna need this spell
Give him
today.
a hug.
That's gonna be a fun spell.
Alright, we operate into the Bray Bar.
Alright, and then Tiril, Tavi, Slanei, and Rickard. Do you guys all decide to eventually go to the Bray Bar as well for food? Or do you stay for a home-cooked meal?
A home-cooked meal in a starving elderly parent's house when
Yep.
they don't have infinite food.
Yep.
I want to go
The
to the
food
Bray
is going to
Bar.
be shit.
But it's home
So
cooked.
we're getting judging looks from the grandpa. So maybe we should go.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
guys gonna talk to Grandpa? Are we gonna do anything about
Elrik
Grandpa?
and Stonk,
That's up to them.
I'll say that you two walk in while everyone else is sitting down. You notice that it's not jovial. in here. People are once again kind of using the mead hall as a,
There's a big fireplace or something.
Yeah, there's like a big fireplace that people are like huddled up
Therapy.
around. They are making like a singular stew that they're giving everyone like one scoop of. It has some vegetables in it because they gotta get rid of the preservatives. You know? So it's a vegetable stew.
Yep.
And it's got maybe some dry, like, jerky in it as well, or it's served with some, like, dry jerky as well.
A little bit of stale bread.
Yeah, some stale bread.
1/5 of the sheep.
Yeah. And then some milk.
Well, I'm gonna grab myself a bowl.
Okay, you get a human-sized portion.
The Slanei get a human-sized portion?
Yep. Not fair.
That seems equitable.
Well,
You guys see
Fancy
Rickard?
meeting
Yeah,
you.
sorry. I did it too. You see Elrik and Stonk now, so you guys now know that Elrik is okay.
He sits down at the table. He
And
doesn't.
you also
a
were like,
roller
oh, that's where Stonk was. 'cause
first
we never
Elric's
told you.
dead, then he's alive, then he's dead again, now he's alive again.
He sits down at the table. He's not making eye contact with you. He doesn't look like he's plotting your murder. He's ignoring you. He doesn't have time to deal with this.
Rickard is just like bummed out that you're alive.
That the feeling's mutual, my friend.
I've never had a party with like two actual enemies.
You know what's funny? There is just the tiniest bit of empathy right now that if you took advantage of, we could become friends. But it is gonna be a hard fought battle.
We might get there. He just needs a little time to cool off the murder trauma. Give him a day or two, and he might pull on your heartstrings. The two heartstrings you have, all two of them.
I'm glad to see you're alive.
I take a bite of soup.
Okay then.
It's kind of lukewarm.
Pleasant rest, everyone. Yeah. Wow. Great response, everyone.
This is just the mood of the hall. It's just spread into the party.
I never got to say good call with the bolt.
Thank you. You're welcome, Elrik, by the way.
So is it just silence then? Is that what we're
It just
doing?
sounds like a slight passive aggressive.
I'm assuming someone will eventually say the keyword to start a conversation.
You did hear him compliment Slanei on the bolt of banishment that pierced through your heart. And fucked him.
To be fair, I thought it was right between the eyes.
Oh yeah, right between the eyes.
Right between the eyes.
There's a bruise. So, now what?
Stonk, do you want the rest of mine?
Yes.
He left all the vegetables at the bottom for you. Slanei drank all the broth and left the like soggy vegetables at the bottom.
It's okay.
Hard carrot.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole radish.
Oh, God.
Stonk's like the type of person to like drink and he'll like choke on a carrot and he'll just kind of
Where are the eggs?
and then he'll eat it.
Yep.
He doesn't go
Now
up, he
carrot
goes
is in his
down.
lung.
Yeah.
Even snap.
Well, I don't know when Hilda arrives.
So we help
Any
out
day now.
around the town as much as we can beforehand.
Do what you can.
Plot twist, they died along the way. The winter got to them.
You have the
That's exactly what I was saying.
bold strategies. Now be the time.
Well, I am not a warrior, but I have read of it. What are we facing? What armies are we going against?
referring back to that one-shot session.
No, you weren't there.
I believe we're facing
20,000.
one half giant
what?
fucker.
Wasn't it 20,000?
No.
Fuck.
That's like half the
No.
Empire.
Oh fuck, never mind.
No, it was like 2,000.
Oh, okay. That's not that
Oh
bad.
yeah, 2,000 well-armed and trained
Barbarian.
soldiers, a half-giant bastard child of Hilda's and Hilda herself. Easy. You got
Yes.
this.
I mean,
totally know.
I think
I know all of this.
the party knows that Winter, the
I fucking
Walter-
know most of that.
Walter Wick got
know.
raised.
Rickard knows all of that. None of you guys know shit. You're like, yeah, she's going for Valterwick. Like,
Yeah.
you thought that was implied.
Yeah.
I was
go to the
mainly just
bathroom.
stating that for anyone who might be re-listening to this later and did not want to listen to the one-shot to get
Oh,
this.
yeah, good. Yeah, summary.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh. Now I don't
So
have to
I've
listen.
asked
I mean, it's still a great one. Please really listen to it.
in character. I have asked. So
It's
who,
really good.
what are we up against?
Chris has a
Something
great
fancy
moment.
We
Fuck.
are.
Yeah, I got
I
5
mean, you're not
hours of
wrong, but
I'm
also,
not
I'm gonna wait
lying.
for everyone to shut up.
Okay, yeah, sorry. That's the couples.
We're probably going to deal with Hilda, her bastard half-giant son, and a couple thousand,
Give or take.
give or take.
And I mean, as I recall, we would have seen the towns we were walking, so I'd have a loosey-goosey idea of this.
Yeah.
As I recall, before we left, there were like 50 guards or something, 100 guards.
I don't remember.
I-
That's going to be a question for Lauren.
I think
There's-
only 50 that weren't
At most 250,
Yeah. At most, currently, we have...
maybe a couple hundred if you like get all the grandpas a spear.
And total population is probably like a couple thousand people.
We also have trolls.
That's true. We have trolls and maybe archmages.
Maybe.
So-
And then the family.
This Hilda, how strong is she?
Well, I mean, I've beaten her a couple times, so she's not really all that impressive. But I've heard that the real threat is her bastard child. I don't know if I've actually heard that. I'm just saying that.
Well, you did hear that her bastard
Half-giant.
child's half giant.
Yeah. Then I'll rephrase it. I'll bet the bigger threat is the half-giant child.
Additionally, just power of numbers.
I wouldn't recommend getting close to Hilda, though.
So, he's not looking at you. Rickard. How strong is this half giant? He's not looking at you. He's trying so hard to hold it in.
Well, he is the half giant.
It's on the name. Kelly is playing Pokemon Go.
Shut.
Kelly thought no one would notice.
Thank
Yeah.
Kelly.
I didn't think that I would have bothered hiding it.
How dare you?
Wow, you just got Ching Chang. Or what's it called? Ching Chang? One Pokemon
Hold up. I gotta find it now, but like...
Is it a Matang?
No,
So-
Chimcho or whatever.
A Bronx?
It's the Chime Pokemon.
Chingling.
Chingling?
It's also a
That
Everything
sounds
you said
worse.
sounds racist. Every variant that has been stated, including the actual variant.
I felt like I was like, oh yeah, these are far off. These are like kind of race. I feel awful saying these. And then you said, and I was like, yeah, you actually know what? That one sounded worse. Chingling?
Chingling.
So, to sum it up, we are facing a decent warrior, a half giant,
Mhm.
and a couple thousand soldiers.
Yes.
Yes.
Essentially, that is what we're up against.
And we have us.
Uh-huh.
Lauren, how many town guards have I seen in this place? What we got? I don't need this exact statistic, but what have my eyes picked up on?
You've been exhausted as hell, so I'd
Nothing.
say you're the last person who'd know.
We have town guards. Do we know how many?
The rest of you can make a intelligence check.
Oh,
Please
God.
no. Someone else do it.
Rickard's gonna be like exactly this amount.
3. Oh my god.
22.
Damn it! I was expecting you to roll another.
19.
19, 22.
Hold up. I don't know my intelligence.
1980.
I'm not surprised that the two nosy bitches would know this.
What is my intelligence? Oh, there it is. Boop. 14.
No more than 400 or 500.
Oh,
That's better
more
than I
than
thought.
we were
That's
thinking.
way better than I
so-
thought.
Oh wait, no. This is Beruvik, actually. Fuck, I was thinking of that Beruvik was larger.
Beruvik's tiny.
Beruvik is only a couple thousand people, actually, so that would be a little around like 100. Maybe I'd say 100 who know what they're doing.
100 trained guards.
100
Like grandpas and kids.
yeah. I'd say 100 trained guards in total, like 200-300.
Including the militia.
Including the militia and the boys who've never held swords before.
So we
That's still more
are.
than I was thinking
Yeah.
about, so.
So we outnumbered 10 to 1.
We also have trolls.
Yes.
We have trolls.
Mhm.
How strong are the trolls?
They're trolls.
One of them can do magic.
One of them can do weather magic.
Well, I can. As a party, we could maybe handle, what? A few dozen on our own, at most, before we get overwhelmed.
Few dozen.
He's saying this. You can rebuke him if you want.
You also got a big wall.
We also have the wall.
But then we also have your family. Are they gonna help?
Do you
No,
say
we-
it?
No.
You can.
So-
I'm not gonna mention them. I'm gonna avoid it.
Now, a point in our favor is that
We're defending.
we're defending, and we don't have to take out all of their.
You just have to crush their will.
We just have to take on their hierarchy. We take out Hilda. We take out her bastard son. I don't see any reason why the rest of them would even want to fight.
To be fair, normally that might be true if they could go home. They are coming at us in a blizzard, so that does not exactly sound like they could just walk off and go take a nap somewhere else.
Half of them
They
might
need to
freeze to death.
They need the shelter.
Half of them have already frozen to death, knowing Hilda.
Yeah. And if they make
Is this
shelter, we can destroy
Hilda
it.
mad charging midwinter?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a lot of ideas for this, but Stonk is not a tactical genius.
I am
So,
using all.
Stab them.
I am using
Yeah.
all of my 14 int to throw ideas at the wall, and you guys can use it as you will.
Yeah.
So she is mad.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, if we kill her, we kill the half giant.
Mm-hmm.
I am not Avnordi, and I do not know your culture. Would the army, assuming they were shown enough force, just surrender in exchange for shelter, come in and play nice?
I might have been in the
Look
bath.
copy.
I might have been in the bathroom, but like, who mentioned Runar? Because the only person who would probably know about. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, specifically.
Okay.
We jokingly said it, and then he actually said
Okay,
it.
yeah, that's fair.
Me.
Just making sure.
All we know is he's a half giant,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he exists.
We presume that he is the bigger threat, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just being racist because he's a half giant, assuming he's a threat.
And the fact that I've beaten Hilda several times, I would assume that I would have a good gauge on her strength, whereas a half giant, I have no fucking clue.
Mm-hmm.
I just presume
Lauren, historically, our half giants are weaker than their dads, right? Like they're not giant strong.
So there are two
Or they
two types.
or
of
are they like a
half-giants.
liger where they're somehow worse than a normal
There
one?
are half giants that are born from female giants. So like a human guy fucks a female giant.
Bards.
Those giants are going to be more like giants than the opposite, which is what Hilda's is. So like if you were a half giant and your dad was a human and your mom was a giant, you would probably be a little bit shorter than a normal giant. The other way around, you'd be a little bit taller than the average person. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. You good? What, is she in there?
Yeah.
Give it to Kelly.
What? Hold on, no, I'll take her. I take her. Unless, do you guys want? Oh my god.
Give her to her lesbian
is she-
lover.
She's asleep.
Oh, she did. Oh!
She didn't even notice. She didn't notice. I need to go to the bathroom. That's why I'm handing her off.
So, historically, half giants are not. They're strong, but they're not giant strong.
They are buffed up humans for sure.
So that they're not like we're fighting Ingvald again, where it's a strong.
No.
Good call going to try out.
Fighting Stonk.
So the question I just asked is, Avnordians, would they surrender if we killed the leader? Would they just?
Yeah, would I know
No.
that? No? Okay, cool.
Okay, well, I'm an optimist who only read in books. I don't fucking know.
Rickard, you would know surrender is not an option for anyone devoted to Hilda.
After Hilda's dead is the question.
Yeah.
So
Or
that's...
did Odell... No, not Odell. Erik resigned before the siege on... Before Hilda's big siege, right?
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I read the freaking war records or whatever the last time we were in Beruvik.
Yep.
How are Odell and Erik alive if they were with Hilda?
Odell survived the Goliath sieges.
Okay.
Erik resigned from the army because his father died before this happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
He had to go be chieftain.
Yeah.
So that means we must kill them all. Without fail. Or enough that the few stragglers go off to freeze.
Sounds about right.
We have no chance of fighting them directly. We're gonna have to come up with something.
I can, if they are... If we are going to plan a war, we are not exactly the best suited for this, but I guess we are all we have. Perhaps we should speak with the chieftain. I'm assuming he has maps, logistics.
That's our best chance, yeah.
I do know this. It seems, and he seems like he is. He doesn't like this. He's not doing too hot. He doesn't like bringing this up, but he says, "Seems Ingvald thought it would be amusing to bring my family into this conflict."
Sad smile.
They are far more proficient than I am, and I know about me. If they are grouped together, or if they are clustered, the magic can spread, and I can do with many at once.
We'll leave them at the front lines then.
Is there like a hint of... Is there a hint of maliciousness in that?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming
Rickard's a little impressed. Yeah, shit, alright.
I'm assuming my family can do likewise, but I am not matriarch, so I cannot tell them what to do.
Well, if that's all you will do, then Rickard, how would you like to kill your sibling? Or not sibling, cousin?
I would be delighted.
She was one of the ones who voted for you to be dead.
I know.
Fuck her.
I do half a double take before I get apathetic. I'm like, okay.
You know what? It tracks. Fuck.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Rickard and I will focus on the hierarchy, as you put it.
Well, it seems the whole plan is to make them be in bunches so we can blast them with magic and have trolls hit them or something. I guess we should know where to clump them. Do we have a map?
Go
Here's
get
one
one.
for Gunnar.
Go get one.
Stonk's on border collie duty. Just make them bunch up in groups.
I can do that.
Herd them.
Yeah.
Poke them with your halberds. Get in
Use
line.
the lake.
Baylor Lake? Hope you don't
Could we use the lake?
Oh,
They would have to go through the town to get to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be on their
That
own.
would be cool.
They're on the wrong side.
Yeah, they are on the wrong side.
Okay, never mind.
we just take the whole town Tiril.
reorient the map. See, now this is north.
Why don't we just take Beruvik and push it somewhere else?
I mean, considering we're headed for an endless winter, supplies are going to be low for both sides. It's going to be worse for the attacking side because
They have no supply lines.
they have no backup.
If you guys just like focus on like surviving the siege and holding them out there as long as you can, that is a very valid strategy.
Yeah.
I also
Beruvik is one of the most fortified cities in the Abnordian
I
Empire.
have the best spell as well for this. Create food and water.
Lauren, I don't have.
I can get
What do I know about the levels of spells I have, but I don't
I
have?
guess 4 times a day.
What would you know about like higher level spells? And
No,
stuff?
like there's like wall spells. I don't
Some of
have
course,
them,
we can
but I
get some
could
books.
have had them. How much do I know about them?
Make an Arcana check.
You just wait.
Because
Wow.
if I can just make like a bunch of ice walls or some shit.
She's cycle of life, man.
She's eating everything.
Apparently, I don't know much about them.
Shark, horse.
Maybe I
I'm just
could become a
imagining
shark
us
now
like
that
taking
I'm
a
eating
snack
shark.
with every song.
Hey.
Just the roast Hilda and then go back.
You guys can have. That's like people did that in sieges. They're like, "Hey, your mom's a whore. We're not least surrendering. Fuck you."
8.
8.
I don't know shit, do I?
Yeah, there are walls.
We can go find the camp and just assassinate each other.
We can ask advice from Gunnar as well. He's gonna know best.
I mean, yeah, we're going to talk to Gunnar after this.
Or we just like talk about what we're gonna say.
I know
Yeah.
there are magics that can fortify, create walls, but that's not my thing.
Is that in my...
That is sorcerer shit. It's just not what I have.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have anything that can help with
In
that.
my very, very limited spell list.
I think warlocks can do it, but that's not what you have.
I'm just imagining, like, once a day just summoning Carcanos to just cause a ruckus.
You can.
You hear the it's the Wilhelm scream. It's like, did you know the origins of that scream? That's when you get attacked by an alligator, right?
If I recall correctly, yeah.
Oh man,
What?
that would be an evil thing. Standing up on the wall and then casting compelled duel down on someone.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, kill your commander.
Well, no. Compelled
check
duel.
really
It means
loud
that they have
at
disadvantage on attacks against everyone else except for you. But if you're up on a wall,
They get you.
That's
So-
just a fuck you to some random soldier.
That's not even
I mean,
worth
you
the
could just
spell
do that to
slot.
Hilda.
Yeah, you could.
Or
and then stay out of her range, and she's crippled because she failed a wisdom save. But yeah, we should probably go talk to Gunnar.
All right.
We have to go back to that manor.
Made of?
What's that?
What are the walls made of?
Wood.
Wood.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's not stone, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Do you want to cast Stone Shape?
I could have done that.
We have to go back to that manor.
If we want to see Gunnar, yes.
So be it. He does not seem like he wants to go back to that manor for some reason.
All right.
I mean, we could go somewhere else if... You don't have to go with them.
Let's get this over with.
Okay.
Let's go back to Gunnar.
You all get your items and leave your messy dishes on the table because you're heathens.
I'm an adult. I'll take
You Everyone leaves and you stack the plates.
I leave a tip. They
money?
get a single bronze coin.
Copper.
Copper.
All
We're
right,
supposed
so
to take care of our dishes?
you all head back to Gunnar's place, and you are let inside. Gunnar is still in his office sorting through the letters. He's actually holding a new letter, which he appears to have gotten from that I'd say you all are able to notice, except for Elrik, because you don't know. Tiril, you probably don't know this either, is the off-white seal of Baldenkirk with a scowling bear on it.
Bear!
Bear.
And he's holding it as you guys walk in. Welcome back.
The dipshit brigade has arrived.
Split an avalanche.
Y'all sleep well?
As well as we could.
Yeah, I didn't.
Who looks worse, me or him?
You're about
Flip a coin.
same level. You more emotionally and more physically. I mean, to be fair,
I'm also physical.
Yeah, also physically.
You just died yesterday.
Happens.
Well, Gunnar, we should probably figure out what our plan is. How long do you know until Hilda arrives?
Based on what we've heard, and he lifts up a letter and says, I received a letter from Valterwick, a guard of the Hallgrid family. He warns us of her approach. Valterwick has burned, and Hilda plans to do the same to Beruvik. And he slaps it down on the table. I'm still awaiting letters from... give me 1 second, I'm about to sneeze.
Pineapple.
No, this is in character.
Listen, he's
Come on,
not doing
keep it
too
up.
well. He'll sneeze.
Keep it up. In character.
In character
Okay,
sneeze.
I'm still waiting on letters from Khalidler and the Westerguards. However, and I'm also still waiting to hear from Gelthorpe, but that's not the letter I'm anticipating. Njal Riesberg of Braybar. While I worry about Hilda's advances, he's a wild card. I don't know. For all I know, we could be attacked at the south any minute.
South over the water? No, sorry. Don't ignore me.
So Braybar is in the south.
I know, but I was thinking attacked from the south or attacked...
They are walking north. South of...
Okay.
Yeah, they're coming from the south.
Southish.
What?
So we're being double attacked.
Yeah.
So...
He's saying that Hilda's coming from this side,
So-
and he fears that the guy in Braybar is going to also attack
okay,
them.
come from the south.
Yes.
Okay. I was confused because I thought you were implying they were going over the frozen lake
No,
to attack,
no.
and I was like, oh shit,
That'd
that's
be
like...
through the town, but
Yeah.
no. So he's implying that he hasn't gotten a letter from Braybar yet, and that scares him because that guy's fucking nuts.
Okay.
Is there a wall on the lake?
There's
The shore?
rivers? No.
So they could just...
I mean, yeah, but that
It's a bad
that's
idea,
a
but
really,
they
really
could.
bad idea to fall through the lake.
If for some reason someone was like insane and they wanted to do that, they could try it.
Yeah, absolutely. But that'd be crazy.
Nope,
That's like the one spy in the middle of the night strategy.
Yeah.
They try and sow discord. Well, if he's a wild card, then he may or may not show up. What do we have?
Well, he picks up one of the letters and says, Baldenkirk, they support Beruvik and its allies. However, they ask for protection and supplies, which we do not have. And he puts that down. Their Archdruid predicts a foul winter this year. Oldengate, he picks up another one with a red seal with a hawk skull. They will support Beruvik and its allies, however, they are too busy building up their own defenses against Daskafell and Eldegard. He puts it down on the table. Thaldenskirk, also supporting Beruvik and its allies, too busy building up defenses against Eldegard and Daskafell. Puts the letter down on the table. Neskastein, they will support Beruvik, but on one condition, they get territory from the Westerguards. Not gonna happen. He puts that down on the table. And a golden seal from Viljason. He says, they will also support Beruvik, however, also wish to regain territory from Khalidler. Not gonna happen! Puts it down on the table. It's funny. They're sending me these declarations like I'm a king. And he looks uncomfortable.
It could be.
Why are you not going to give them land for their support?
The Westerguards have guarded the Western Avnordian Empire for generations beyond the existence of the Avnordian Empire.
Okay.
They are not getting shit. And frankly, they're kind of who I'm betting on to come save us.
Really, the Westerguards? Okay. What about the other one? I don't remember what it was.
The colder whatever.
Older.
The other family wanted land.
Khalidler is the Westerguards. Same people. They're from Khalidler. The Westerguards run Khalidler.
So two different people want lands from the same person.
Yes.
They both
They want land from the same, arguably more ancient family than the Jarls.
Okay, it just sounded like they wanted land from two different people.
So they're just being assholes.
No, they're just like, we'll support you if we get some of the Westergaard's territory.
Not something I have to offer. I'd have to go conquer it, and I'm not exactly in a conquering mood.
Oh, okay.
We just got the wall. We barely got the people.
So no support then?
Not from the outside.
Haven't heard anything from Gilthorpe yet, though.
I nod like that means literally anything to me.
I don't expect any support, to be fair. So I move on. What about inside the walls? What do we have?
Well, we have the Ice Trolls, who call themselves Nana the Frozen, Reller the Jawhinger, and Huller the Wall.
The wall!
Yeah.
The wall! Yeah! None on earth can make him fall! He better survive.
Do we have Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
We stand the wall. And what else?
Those are the names of the Ice Trolls.
No, what else? I asked, what do we have on the inside of the walls that can help us?
We've fought off Duskafell before. However, we don't really have much, and he kind of, like, thinks back to, like kind of history. How we defeated them before was they couldn't get past the wall. We dumped burning liquids onto them until they went away. I don't think that's going to be a possibility from what I've heard, and he kind of gestures to the letter from Valterwick. 2,000 men. Last time Duskafell attacked, it was 200.
And yet, they march in a deep winter with very little supplies.
Yep.
You do not need to hold out for long.
He nods his head, but goes, what worries me, I don't, and he puts his head in his hand and goes, the people are not supporting me, and, well, I don't blame them. I fear that we might implode before they get here. So sure, if we were all in agreement and all held hands, then maybe we could live it out. But that's not what's going to happen.
Have you tried talking to them? Have you tried, I don't know, leading them?
He gestures to all of the letters on the table. I am dealing with requests and letters constantly. They're asking for things that I cannot give them.
Gunnar, you lead from behind your chair. The people are scared. They are worried. And you are not comforting them. You do all these attempts to help them, but they do not see that. They see a scared man, unsure of what to do.
Stonk, I think in the time you've been gone, you've forgotten who I am. I am the chieftain of this town. You cannot speak to me that way. Well, you are correct. Consider yourself... consider yourself to be more polite next time you speak. I understand that this is all I know how to do. You want me to go out there and tell them everything will be fine? They look down at their bowls and know I'm lying to them. What good would it do to comfort them when they can see the discomfort in their starving child's eyes?
They're not asking...
They'd know you gave a shit.
They're not asking for everything will be fine. They're asking you to fight. They want something. Something to fight for here. Just what you're doing right now is nothing but cowardice.
He slumps back in his chair and says, "Now, fine. I'll do my best to tell them the thing we're fighting for is not dying. I don't have much hope here either. But I have no choice but to keep going and write these letters and tell people no, tell people yes. But I've just found myself saying no quite a bit. I don't have the supplies to offer to Baldenkirk. They're struggling too. I gotta focus on the people who are here. And right now, they don't, and frankly, haven't trusted. They haven't trusted my family since Loris the Defender."
Left.
He's not talking about his son.
How long ago was that?
You want to do a quick history check?
Lauren, how big is this town?
Yeah.
A couple thousand people.
Oh, I just...
You want to roll the dice, don't you?
I mean, you can roll the dice anyways. Because it's really fun. 14.
14?
What are we history checking?
Who Loris the Defender is.
I'm a history book. Why, I get imported books. Did I get an imported book with info?
Probably not.
Okay, I thought it was a long
Would you roll,
shot.
Tavi?
Hold up. It's not great. So whatever this is. Yeah, 8.
8. You don't know. Slanei, you vaguely remember hearing something like, a couple hundred years ago there was Loris the Defender who built the wall, and, he was this big, like, army dude who helped fight for the king when Jarl Ragnar... it was Jarl Ragnar was, saying, I'm going to be the king of the Abnordian Empire. Loris the Defender fought alongside of him and helped him win the war and gain the support of the Abnordian Empire.
Out of character, didn't Valderwick have a way cooler wall?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
But it was also a wall run by an insane man.
Yeah. That was not calculated. This is a calculated wall. They built this wall with intent.
Well, we should deal with one problem at a time. You say the people are starving. Don't you know how to make food?
Only for 15 people at a time.
That's 15 starving children that do not need to starve.
Fair enough.
Good berries.
15. I can do it for 60 people total.
We will do what we can to assist and support you, Gunnar. But you're the leader.
And you can't give us a command from behind the desk over here. You have to have people see it.
No one's getting back to you with these letters. No one's going to respond in the next few days before Hilda comes. So, spend what little time you have left helping them.
If the people knew we had champions of Ingvald fighting for them, then maybe there might be a little more hope.
Propaganda!
If we were to hold a ceremony welcoming and thanking you, then maybe the people might have a little bit more hope. Am I making myself clear?
You want us to play the part of hero.
To them you are. You need to be.
Oh boy. Time for the folk hero part.
My
Folk
character
hero.
background finally is coming in at session
Yes.
45.
Session 45, I can use my background soon.
They look into my eyes. They want to fight.
Haunted one.
Oh, we haunted.
Got a bunch of haunted ones on our team.
There is a knock on the door in Gunnar's office.
I freeze.
The door opens to a robed pigeon keeper.
Okay, I freeze.
He walks into the room holding a sealed brown letter and hands it to Gunnar.
Yeah, forget me if I said there would be no more letters to arrive. I was stupid. Look at that.
You all see the seal
This is Galethorpe, isn't
of
it?
a black badger.
Oh, this is
Is that Hilda?
No, this is Gilthorpe, isn't it?
I think.
It's Braybar.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
We
we
all-
all find
we-
out we're being invaded from two
Are
sides.
we being invaded by two sides, or do we have the batshit people helping
Gunnar
us?
peels open the wax seal and opens the letter, and his eyes scroll very fast. He's reading it very fast. Fuck! And he slams it down on the table. That's where we're gonna end this session. You guys get to read the letter next session. I know what it says, I just haven't written it down exactly. That's where I was like tonight, like I was sitting here writing and you guys were all like getting ready to sit down. I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting to the letter.
I mean, we got to the letter. We're just not getting past that.
Well,
Wow.
he keeps saying no. Let's try to find a way for him to say no to Hilda.
I just don't feel it. Sorry.
We have one of us does need to talk to Stig as well if we're gonna play the part of folk hero in this town.
Oh, the
he
king
knows.
needed to die. It was for the country.
Yeah, because let's just say, if you guys are playing a hero, that's the kind of talk that'll
Hurt.
hurt.
Yeah. Well, oh god.
I would let Slanei do that, but then I'm also worried if Slanei does that.
Someone else may just want to go with Slanei for when he fucks up.
I'm glad to play Gunnar again, perpetually stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, as the session went on, the more believable the makeup was.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's scary. I like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is where we're gonna wrap up the session. Does anyone have some final says, words?
Do we level up?
No.
Yeah, what?
I'm
sorry.
We made it to Beruvik.
No!
She leveled up from winning Ingvald's tournament.
Yeah.
We had to get so much experience.
Like I said, you guys will be level 10 before the siege begins. So effectively, you will be level 10 by the time.
Whoa.
Sorry, are you guys at
Whoa,
level 9?
we're getting
Sorry, at level
we're
9.
getting
I
two
mean.
levels.
Sorry, I mean,
I'm
level
so
levels of her.
excited.
You'll be level 9 by the time.
Oh god, I have
Oh.
I have a choice I need to make then.
Alright.
Third multi-class.
I think I'm gonna hold off on the third paladin level. I don't feel like it's the best time for it.
Yeah.
So
I was also-
I'll probably go barbarian again.
Alright, I might
To
also
get
take
danger sense.
my fourth level, or another level
Honestly,
in cleric for the same reason of getting fourth level spell slots that I can actually prepare.
Yeah.
Also, there's a good chance I'm gonna go over 100 HP base next time I level up.
Train!
Thanks for closing it out, Train.
Thanks for closing it out.
Also, thank you. Introduction to Elrik's family. We're going to be dealing with them a little more next session.
So what's everything? How you guys feel about the fam?
I hate them.
I'm so ready for them to die mysteriously in the battle.
Auntie's my favorite.
I do like Auntie.
The more it was like described and the interactions, I was like, oh yeah, this is about how I thought it was going to be. It's just
I have
what's
a
it
graph.
about?
No matter how much you mentally prepare for it,
Is it
it just doesn't make up for
I
sitting
have the
down.
family tree.
Yeah, don't worry. That'll probably be shared next session. The only name you guys know is when Elrik said that the matriarch, so the old lady's name is Iðunn. You don't know the name of anybody else.
I have an aunt. I have a man.
There's an aunt. There's a man who's presumably Elric's father. There is a young girl who you do not know the parentage of,
Who called us all heathens.
who called you all heathens.
That's more so what I care about.
Yeah, so they were sent here on a mission from God. That's what they believe.
Technically not wrong.
Not wrong. Just
That's what Ingvald told them.
Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses, instead of being pacifists, they were extremely aggressive. Anti-witnesses.
I just don't know how we're gonna interact with them. Like, are we
Jehovah's
gonna like
no
pretend
witnesses.
like niceties with them the entire time, or
I
like?
don't know.
Because I want to be mean to them, but then I also don't.
I'll give
want
you
to
guys a
ruin
little bit of advice.
Huh.
They're intolerable as a group. Tolerable as
Individually.
individuals.
I
Okay.
cannot wait for them to
Divide
find
and
Slane's
conquer.
The biggest
Divide
heathen
and
of them all.
conquer.
Except for Grandma. Don't
Don't talk to Grandma.
leave Grandma alone. She'll kill you, teleport you, and then bring you back just to mess
I've
with
never
you.
met a mean grandma. This will be.
I have.
She teleports you home just to isolate you while she beats you senseless.
And then brings you back.
And then brings you back.
Within an inch of your life because she can't be bothered to revive you.
Yeah.
It's
All
really
right.
fucked up.
So this is where we're gonna wrap up. See you guys all next week.
Yes, next week.